Hey, welcome everybody. We are back with the Week 8 recap show. I'm here with Steve from Fanspeak. How we doing?
Doing good, doing good. Definitely some interesting games and situations to talk about in the Bimageddon slash quarterback Mageddon week.
Yeah, and weirdly, it wasn't that bad at quarterback.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean we had some guys and we'll get to them Tua and Stroud having some of their best games, and yeah, they're decent quarterback scores for sure.
Drake May doing Drake May things again
Mhm.
against the Browns defense, which is awesome, by
Yeah,
the way. Um, so I've been looking through. We'll go to this real quick. We'll kind of talk through this real quick while we let people show up. But I was looking through like points per game over here on Fantasy Points. If this okay, but the Cowboys are so much worse than every other team against
yeah,
quarterbacks. But part of that is because they have a good offense, right? So the other teams are required to continue to throw. The surprising one is the Steelers being up here at the second worst in fantasy points versus,
mhm.
because you think they have a good defense, right? Like the history has been, and it's not like their offense is killing everybody, right?
Yeah.
So them being all the way up here is wild. So like to show how bad the Cowboys are, like you look at the average here, like my I bought a new sound bar and it has a voice activation and it just randomly powers on and powers off. It's so infuriating. So if you guys hear that, that's what that is. And what's up, Hulk? What's up, Nick? Um, like I, it like scared the hell out of me the first time it did that because I didn't know it was going to do that, and I was on and I was just doing something else. uh, but yeah, so Dallas is all the way up here, and then all the way down to like number 12, 18.1, all the way to 18.8 is a gigantic jump. So like the top or the worst 11 are by far worse than the rest of the league, right?
Yeah.
But then you scroll at the bottom as well, and like stop at 15.3 or 15.0, whichever one you want. But then like these, like the Texans are insane. We kind of knew that, but the Bills only 14.5 versus quarterbacks.
I
That's
mean,
wild. That's wild to me. But they're also one of the worst against the run, I would believe, if we were to look at that up. So it's just something I was looking at before we started, and I like to do a little something before we get into the games. That way, some people can filter in if they want.
yeah, no,
Uh,
the interesting thing with the Bills is if you watch week one when Lamar absolutely toasted them, you would
yeah,
think, oh, they're terrible. But in part, they've faced some bad quarterbacks since, including like backups like Andy Dalton.
yeah,
Which oof, that was
yeah,
ugly.
yeah.
Um,
And
but
like,
but it's also they were the first to burst the Justin Fields bubble, and it
they
literally
were.
injured him as well. But I mean, he was awful before he got injured. Um, and
And
it goes show like May actually had a good game, pretty real life game. He didn't have the best fantasy day
yeah,
because Ramondre got the touchdowns, but it's like, man, I think the Bills are, and I've said this before, like for this game coming up against the Chiefs, like Bills are a good defense, but they're not a great defense.
right. And this right here is like why they're not a great defense because
Yeah.
they hemorrhage points at the running back position, which Cincinnati Bengals up at 33. We'll get to that game, but they allowed, I think, 65 points to full PPR to
Oh
running backs in
man.
this game or something. It was a performance. We'll say that. It was
That's a word
something.
for it.
It was definitely a performance in the NFL.
Does
All right.
does Jonathan Taylor play Cincinnati this year? And can he get 70 points in a game?
What quarter is he benched in? Like, because he only had 13 carries, I think, this last week.
Something like that. I
He
mean, yeah.
averaged 13 yards a carry. Like I don't know. Like
I
Yeah,
want
it
to
would.
see him set records.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it as well. All right, on to the first game. We have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Los Angeles Chargers. It was not a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
It was everything we wanted to see from the Chargers and nothing we wanted to see from the Vikings. Right? Like
Yeah.
we have
And
so the things to talk about real quick. This usage stuff, like Quentin Johnston went into the game questionable. They kept running this set. It had Scott Matlock plus
Fisk,
Gadsden plus where's the other guy?
Fisk, or
Fisk, yeah.
sometimes Conklin, but yeah, a lot of times
Yeah,
Fisk.
plus Fisk, like number 42, 44, and Gadsden. And in that set, for whatever reason, Trey Harris was always the only wide receiver on the field.
Yeah.
He didn't see much. He's seen a little bit other than that set, but with that set, they ran the ball straight down their throat,
Mm-hmm.
and there wasn't much they could do about it. And the reason I bring this up, and I know we usually start with the visiting team, but the reason I bring that up is because like it was only Gadsden and Trey Harris out there for the receiving role in those. And Gadsden got like every look, and Trey Harris barely got any. Now, Trey Harris did have a better game, but he also was on the field a lot more. So, I mean, if that's a set they're going to continually use, I mean, that's bad for Ladd McConkey. It's probably bad for Keenan Allen. And I don't know if Trey Harris is going to supplant Quentin Johnston when Quentin Johnston's 100% in that set, but I feel like that's a set that QJ would be in instead of Trey Harris. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in general, they've been relying on Harris more for blocking situations as is. And this time they just a lot of times it would be like Harris, McConkey, and Gadsden and an extra tight end. This time they just said, screw it. We're going total heavy package.
Yeah.
Fisk and Matlock. Gadsden will be like the guy if we need to have a passing play off of this. And Harris is there as well.
And Nick here is right. Like Trey's probably like he's just the best pass blocker there. Like, and Keenan's not a bad or a run blocker. Keenan's not a terrible run blocker, but like, do you really want the older wide receiver to be out there?
Well,
and frankly, more important wide receiver at this point.
Yeah.
So,
well, I do think it is interesting to have the conversation. Some of the snaps we can't because also then at the end, like the last maybe 8 snaps of this game, no starter was out there. You know how many? You know, like I guess Herbert was out there for the very end, but they were the last couple of snaps. It was like Harris and QJ and that Davis and you know, like I can't remember what it was, but what was interesting, of course, was QJ not getting any targets because even in the Colts game, while Allen and McConkey and Gadsden got more targets, QJ still got I think 6 or 7 targets in that game, including the touchdown.
Yeah,
this game
literally
zero in a game where Herbert only threw 25 times and stopped essentially throwing in the third quarter. I mean, he might have had like 2 attempts in the fourth quarter. But it's, like Keenan Allen was only in for 50, or I think it said 18 plays. He got 5 targets. So when he was out there, and he got the first target of the game, I believe.
I believe it was. I believe it was. Yeah, it was one of those two.
And I know it was on the first drive. He got a 17-yard catch. And so it is troubling how much Harris was over QJ because there were times where it was McConkey, Allen, and Harris. Sometimes it was, QJ more, but yeah, it's just for as good as he looked early in the year. And like you said, he came into this game a little banged up, but I don't know. Like it feels like Harris / Gadsden have kind of like overtaken him as like the option, the third option on this team.
Yeah, in pre-draft stuff, I wasn't that worried about QJ getting overtaken by Trey Harris because to me, they played a different role, but that's because Keenan Allen wasn't on the team yet.
Hmm.
When Keenan Allen went on the team, that meant one of those two is probably going to it's going to be between one of those two.
Yeah.
Now, whenever it was between Trey Harris and Mike Williams, it definitely felt like all three of them could have been fine picks.
Yeah.
Whenever Keenan went there, it kind of ruined everything for like it. Let's be honest, QJ, even at his high ADP at 140, is absolutely paid off.
Hmm. Oh, for sure.
And like, so even if he ends up getting relegated and helps you advance, like, you should be happy about that. Like, it's been a fine pick. And as long as he stays healthy and is live in the playoffs, we've seen him spike. So,
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the other issue is the emergence of Gadsden, because like McConkey's going to get his. We've seen this the last couple games. Keenan Allen's gained his. Like, I feel like if not that Herbert was going to have to throw 50 times this game, but let's say Herbert threw 35, 40 times this game. Keenan Allen probably has a very good day. He is 4 for 5 for 44 in limited work. He got 1/5 of the targets. He got 25% of the 20% of the targets in this game. So yeah, to me, QJ / Harris are going to have a tough time fighting for, kind of fourth on the pecking order. And I'm sure there'll be a week or two where QJ, they dial something up for him and he gets a big 50-yard catch for a touchdown and he's fine and usable again. But there'll probably be games where Harris gets that. So I think it's just going to go forward that way.
Yeah, Nick nailed it on the head there. The QJ not usable and managed anymore.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. So with that being said, like, man, I'm just so sad that Hampton is hurt. Because nothing against Vidal. Like, he played very well. He looked good. But a lot of those runs, I really think Hampton would have completely dominated with. They're like he is just stronger and he's faster, right?
Yeah.
Like, and his vision is just as good. And with that set that they were running, like, we could have seen, like, I think that this line is like the minimum of what he would have had if he was in the game, right? And it's nothing against Vidal because he got what was blocked. He broke some tackles. Like, he looked good, but it just kept me like thinking about what could have been with Hampton if he was available here.
Oh, Hampton and Najee,
Najee as well.
Because here's the thing, like, this was the tale of two halves. In the first half, Vidal was awful. Like, if you want to pull up the first half stats, they were not good. And I thought Herbert was going to be just having to throw again because Vidal kept getting stuffed, kept, getting like these either negative or 1-2 yard carries. But then the second half, he started breaking off, 8-yard gain, 10-yard gain, 12-yard gain, 20-yard gain, 15-yard gain. And he ended up saving his day and having a good day. But like you said, if that was Hampton, he would have just smashed all along. He would have had 150, 180, like on 23 carries. Hampton would have smashed.
Maybe I'm setting my sets high, but it would have been like a Jonathan Taylor week, in my opinion. Like a regular Jonathan Taylor week now, which is loading at 100 yards and a touchdown and a half. Like, he just come preloaded the touchdown and a half, 100 yards.
Yeah.
Three catches, like every week.
God.
Yeah. And by the way, I wasn't 24%. I think I was 17 last year, like, on Vidal. And we weren't wrong, obviously. Like, it's just early. Yeah. So, man, Herbert just absolutely destroyed this whole game.
Yeah.
I think it's official now that Ladd is the number one target. Like, he definitely, something was going on early, but like, I loved his touchdown celebration when he caught it and he just looked at his hands like they work. Like, that was great.
Well, that's because he had that bad drop early in the game. He was wide open. Ladd could have had over 100 in this game.
Yeah, he should have. And that was a bad drop. And like, he's had more drops this year than he did all of last year already. So like that's one of those things, like the Marvin Harrison stuff. Like, where he was super pumped after that awesome catch because he's had a bad year.
Yeah,
So
no,
like,
exactly.
yeah. So I'm ready to move on over to the other side of the ball, which may not be as fun to talk about.
Yeah, the only thing I want to say is the other thing with Herbert is he continues to run. You
Yeah.
know, for a long time he was the leading team rusher until the fourth quarter when Vidal really went nuts.
Yeah.
So
And so every single season, Herbert's picked up an injury early in the season and then
mhm,
stopped running.
yeah,
He has not got that injury yet this season. I hope it doesn't come. Like,
yeah,
I like watching him play. Like, even if KC ends up getting beat out by him or whatever, I don't care. Like, I want to see good football. And Justin Herbert playing at the same level as the other MVPs makes for good football.
oh, yeah.
Um, so yeah, and like because basically it's been like it was like 3 years in a row where Herbert got hurt during a Chiefs game. By the way,
Mm,
it was always a Chiefs game to where he kind of got like the I know 2 years in a row it was. One year is like week 4 on a Thursday night, and there was like a we don't want Thursday night game stuff going
I
on, and
remember that. Yeah.
and then like the next year it was later in the season, but it was like he went in a little hurt, and then he got more hurt during the KC game. So Jordan Mason 35%, Aaron Jones 53%. Like you've been running the ball good this entire time. The Chargers aren't really known. Like let me look at where they are in the fantasy points against. Just for a little, am I missing them? They're 18. So they're right in the middle. 21 and a half. And this is not the top guy. This is overall. So
Yeah.
that includes everybody.
I will say early in the year, Chargers were really good against the run. It's only the last couple weeks
Yes.
when JCM and Achan and
Yeah.
JT. I mean, honestly, we should start taking JT out. Like that shouldn't count against you.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. And no, it really is that much. And yeah, like this has been this the why am I blanking on his name? The starter now.
Darsaw?
Wentz.
Oh, Wentz.
Like I don't know why I was blanking on his name because he had a very forgettable performance, probably. Like, but he turtled up every time pressure got around him and just took the sack. Like, there's a difference between taking a sack is good, but taking all the sacks is not good.
Yeah.
Like every one of those, he had plenty of time to just throw the ball out of bounds somewhere and chose not to. He just chose to turtle up and take the sack. Like none of them were somebody coming up from him, like from the side, if I remember right. Like at least 4 of them was pressure coming up, like somebody getting bull rushed and getting pushed into him. And then he just turtled up instead of even trying to throw the ball away or anything. Like he never tried that really. He just did.
One
And
thing I noticed, they didn't have a lot of like hot read. They weren't like
no,
they weren't adjusting to that because the other thing you'd see at a couple of them was pressure would come and he tried to step up looking like he'd try and get out of it. I mean, and Wentz has a little mobility. He's not exactly a statue back there, but he's also banged up. He came into this game banged up and he was clearly injured in this game. And
and every
obviously,
time he got hurt, he looked like he's like,
oh,
oh, this is my last chance. I'm going back out there.
the amount of to be fair, the amount of pain that it looked like he was in, I would not wish on anyone.
Right. No.
And he
Yeah, no,
clearly had
I
to have
agree.
surgery after the game. So, but yeah, and I always love this. Like we look and just the difference between the two, because essentially Herbert and Wentz both have the same amount of attempts and very similar completions, but the rest of their stat lines are just vastly different. And it's, obviously Wentz has big weapons, but he didn't adjust to pressure. He didn't have time. And they just, I don't know, like he tried to force balls deep that just weren't working. And I get it. You have Justin Jefferson, you try and get a lot, you know, Yeah.
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 But no, 11 targets to Justin Jefferson. It was just like they had that covered. You weren't Justin Jefferson. Chargers made sure Justin Jefferson was not going to beat them, and they just kept trying.
Yeah. And like he didn't have time to look at a second read. And with that being said, like with as bad as the Minnesota offensive line has been, like with Wentz as well, it kind of makes you have a little hope for maybe it's not McCarthy being bad. Maybe it's just how bad, like, and there was some of that go like back and forth. Like, that's how I felt anyway. I'm like, man, like this offensive line is very bad because he was playing even without Darisaw, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
With a
Darisaw
couple of backups in.
is out again. Is that?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked
Yeah.
towards this
Yeah.
week.
He went out early in the game. So, like, and that's when it really, really went off the rails.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what the Vikings.
This is no, I mean this is just the PDF download off of NFL.com. But yeah, I think that they like I don't understand why they just started with Aaron Jones though. Like they started the game off with Aaron Jones running the ball. Like, yes, I get it. He's a veteran. They want it. Like Jordan Mason had been good for them so far this year. I don't know why Aaron Jones was in there on the opening drive, and they got behind so fast that now Jordan Mason can't even become part of the game plan as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, this whole Minnesota looked really bad. Like, and the wild thing is they went out this year and got 2 offensive linemen to help their red zone success, and it's way worse.
They actually had to read. They signed 2 guys and then drafted a guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the drafted guy. The 2 guys they signed came from Indianapolis, and their offensive line is elite now. So it kind of sounds like Minnesota got. Just looking at that. Also, like they didn't really look at Hawkinson and Addison that much, but I don't even think he had time to get to a second read most of the plays. So, yeah.
This game kind of epitomized the weekend. Ton of blowouts, ton of lopsided games where one team looks awesome, and it wasn't always who we thought it would be. And we'll get to those games.
Yeah.
But that's almost every game this weekend was like that.
Speaking of those games and PPR Tyler, we have Miami and the Atlanta Falcons. And I will be the first to say I did not see this coming. So I have a question for you here. And this is kind of leads into the Carolina game as well. So like Carolina absolutely shut down Bijan, right? And then they've been cooked the last 2 weeks. Like they got kind of beat last week and then cooked this week. But like now that Miami's defense has now shut down Bijan as well. Like, do we think that it was just false? Or what is the state of the Carolina, like the run defense thoughts on them? Because I remember last year, late in the season, there were some teams saying that like the Atlanta offense was very predictable and you could pretty much figure out exactly what they were going to do based on the set. And it kind of looked like I think it was the Saints player saying that they could basically call the plays before they were played, like every time. And that's why, like, when their offense looked bad, it looked horrendous because the other team figured out how to basically what they were going to do. I don't know if that is anything there or not. Well, like if maybe some of that is back, if they might have reverted to some of those old tactics with London being out and Kirk Cousins being there, because Kirk Cousins was the one running the offense for most of last year too.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I know the stat line, and we'll get to that. Didn't look great. I don't know how much of this was on Cousins, like,
I
and
I don't
in part because Penix has been completely inconsistent in his own right, and made plenty of mistakes. I think the London injury was huge. I think the Dolphins just said we're not going to let Bijan beat us, and they accomplished that. And you know, I know the Falcons are also missing multiple offensive linemen, and it's started to show. I mean, we saw, the previous game, the 49ers get pretty good pressure on Penix, which included him getting hurt on. And the 49ers can't get pressure on anyone, as we'll talk about shortly. They couldn't get any pressure on CJ Stroud, who everyone's gotten pressure on. So there might be some real issues, and some of that is the offensive coordinator and system. Like, you need to have answers, and they just didn't have any answers. And you just saw Cousins, and he just tried, and Kyle Pitts looked good. Kyle Pitts was getting open. He peppered him. And, it's not like he peppered him for like 2-yard passes. Like, he was peppering him for, 6 to 10-yard catches.
Yeah.
But they couldn't sustain it, and they couldn't sustain drives, and they never got like in a good position. And then it's a blowout city. And it just, kept snowballing from there. And
well, so I noticed that Mooney and Cousins at least twice, I think 3 times, like Mooney cut something in and Cousins wanted them to run it deep.
Yeah.
And one of those was early in the game, and it was easily a touchdown if Mooney would have ran. I'm going to assume that he ran the wrong option there, because the ball, like, it was such a wide open play if Mooney had just kept it upfield.
Yeah, there were a couple, and I think there was another one to Hodge and maybe David Sills that was similar, where Cousins, like, you could tell right after he was not expecting the receiver to do what they did. The Mooney is the shocking one, because obviously he played all year with Mooney last year, and Mooney had some of his best games with Cousins.
And that's what surprised me. And like, it was pretty wild to see that they, like, Mooney was so just like he wasn't himself, like, with Cousins at all. And I expected Mooney to have a gigantic game, and the game was there. The game was there to be had.
Yeah.
And I put it mostly on Mooney there more than Cousins, as you're saying.
Yeah, it's not like I'm going out here and saying this was classic Kirk Cousins with the Vikings or with, Washington, where, he was playing at like a Pro Bowl level. But there were a lot of like backup quarterbacks or just bad quarterback play. And I would put Cousins in the middle of the pot. Like, Cousins was better than, the Andy Daltons and even Mac Jones and, some other situations. Is what I'd say. I think a lot of these, like, game script, like we just talked about with Wentz, like, a game script just totally went out the window. And then you just can't do anything. And especially when your game script revolves around being so good rushing the football, and both Bijan and Algier are getting stuffed every single time you hand them the ball. Then Bijan the fumble, like, it was just not. They just could not get anything going.
No, and like, Bijan looked just the same, and they put everybody they put a bunch of people in the box, and they kept 2 people back to basically spy every play. And they're like, all right, Kirk, you got to beat us. And Kirk, to his bent, like, he didn't look great, but it was, I mean, they didn't have London, and Mooney wasn't playing one of his better games, so they got smoked.
Yeah, and I do agree. And I think this was your point a little about the Carolina thing. And I don't even think Carolina shut down Bijan too much. That was just another one. The game script went totally sideways, and they took Bijan out of it.
Well, they let him get there in the passing game, which didn't even happen here, right?
Yeah, and that was the difference. In other games, like Bucks, who we do know can be a good run defense and stuff like that, Bijan would still get there in the passing game. Right. But this game script went sideways, and Bijan just couldn't do anything. So, yeah, I just think this was, from losing. But I do wonder if the biggest concern is the offensive line, because there was no room to run for their running backs, and that's troubling because their identity is to run the football.
Yeah. Speaking of Kirk Cousins, by the way, not Kirk Cousins, but this could be true that he was happy making that good backup money. This is completely unrelated to football, but a guy I work with has foot problems, and the guy who made the machine is going to work with it to help Kirk Cousins Achilles process. Basically the last person he worked on was Cousins with this machine. Some guy I know is going to be working taking that, which is kind of weird because he has no idea what football is. Basically, he's one of those guys, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know." And he called him Kirk Cousins, so that's why I'm bringing up that right now, because he called him Kurt. So yeah, but yeah, it's so Jekyll and Hyde right now with the Falcons, though, for sure.
No, I mean,
and when they're good, when their offense is working, they look awesome, and whenever it's not, it really looks like one of the worst teams in the league. And it kind of looks like Miami kind of figured out what they were going to do every play, just by watching it. And I don't know if they went back to some of that stuff they did last year with Cousins, and I can't remember for sure, but I think it was a Saints player. They're saying that they could pretty much guess what the play was 50% of the time, and basically Tecmo Bowl call the play, and you have no chance kind of thing.
No, it is, like you said, this is very Jekyll and Hyde. It's one thing when the Falcons lose on the road to the 49ers, despite their injuries, 49ers still a good team. They're a well-coached team. But this Falcons team, they have to be one of the biggest up and down roller coasters, because they play the Bucs week 1 to essentially to a standstill, and Bucs get the win, but it's they get shut out by Carolina. They get dominated in this game, but then this team beats the Bills. It's just so wild. And I know Carolina didn't have Bryce Young, but the Bills just absolutely wiped the floor with Carolina.
Absolutely. And the other thing about the Falcons is they're supposed to have that amoeba defense kind of thing going, and it'd been working pretty well for the most part. And the Dolphins offense hadn't been working pretty well. And it was the opposite here. McDaniel had a good game plan. Achane did Achane things. Tua actually threw the ball to the right team. It looked fine. And you do kind of wonder, this is Tua indoors, right? I completely I thought about that about Friday, and I'm like, maybe fading Waddle completely is the wrong move, because the way I view it is so with BRs and stuff, every week we've had multiple 25-point wide receivers, and a 20-point receiver wasn't going to get there. I just didn't see a way he got more than 20, which is right where he got, but he ended up being wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
So it's just that the recent weeks, the ceilings, and I should have thought more that it is a weaker wide receiver slate. It's probably going to be less, but I didn't get there. I pretty much faded Waddle completely. But I mean, looking back on it, obviously everything looks better, but you have the dome, you have a defense, a team who has been a little Jekyll and Hyde already going into this game. This game just kind of proved that in my Discord, I was saying that this Falcons team reminds me of the Eli Manning Giants. You just never know what's going to happen. They the games are not going to be competitive. They're just not going to play. They're just not going to be in the game at all.
Yeah.
And every other game, they're going to be at least annoying and close. And then some games are just going to come out and absolutely crush. And you will never know, never have any clue when it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing is, like the concern going into this week was, they've struggled more against the run. Like we just saw Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey just have an unworldly game against them. And it makes sense. They have very light defensive ends. They're not, like they don't have a lot of big run stoppers. There's no Vita Vea on this team. And yeah, their secondary is at least decent, but it was honestly the Dolphins passing game that got there. Like, combined they got 141 yards. So that's because they were able to run 37 times. And, like longs of 12 and 13 for a chain and Gordon. It's not like,
Yeah.
They were getting absolutely smashed on the ground. Falcons just couldn't stop Tua.
No.
They couldn't get pressure on him, which is troubling because they invested so much in the pass rush. And guys were just open, they just had no answer. Like whether it was Waddle, Achane, Washington, Ollie Gordon, even his catch for a touchdown, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, this looked like Tua from 3 years ago, the way he played this game.
Yeah, it did. And he was actually like, you could see it. He was having fun.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that annoyed me. Because like he was out there celebrating like they won something big. And which is fine. Like, fine. Like, I get it. You're finally having a good game. Like, you probably are allowed to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, he saved him and McDaniel's job for another week. So
I like what Rich Rebar said, that if I was the owner, he's like, if I was the owner, I would not fire either. I wouldn't fire him or let him bench Tua. I would make them live this partnership out till the end of the season, and that's your punishment. And that's because they obviously don't like each other, or like whatever. Like, not that they don't like each other, but there's definitely something
tension
there.
Yeah,
there's definitely tension, right? But yeah, like Miami actually got 3 running backs involved. I know, right? I mean, he got 1 carry, and it was actually the second quarter. But
yeah, that's Target. He got 9 carries.
Oh yeah.
But that was all like mop up duty.
One of them was in the second quarter because I specifically remember seeing him in the second quarter. Like,
yeah,
why is that not Gordon? I think Gordon just ran a couple times, and they put him in. And I do think that it was like it might have been like in the 2-minute, like pre-2-minute drill that they weren't really trying to score, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like I think getting the third, like I like Ollie Gordon a lot. Having a third guy there to help spell Achane, like Achane's on the field all the time, like, but he does need a rest here and there. Like, I think that it's fine to do that. It's not great for fantasy, but for real football, it's fine. Malik Washington finally gets there with a touchdown as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and actually, I think it might be okay for Achane because I don't think Achane is a guy. I know he got 18 carries in this game, but he's not been crushing it with like a great like yards per carry, and he'll have a big carry, like 40 yard run here or there. But most of his carries are getting stuffed or very short gains.
Yeah, and
I actually think he's a lesser more guy.
I kind of think so as well. Like, I think that and I don't mind him being on the field all the time. I just think that he doesn't need to rush as often. I think that if they turn him more into just a receiver, and then like give him 10 to 12 rushes a game, it would be perfectly fine. And I think that it would be better for him long term as well. Like even for the season, like, so yeah, like Jalen Waddle looked really, really good here. He's looked good every game since Tyreek has been out, even if Tua hasn't looked good.
Yeah.
But that's all I have for that. Are you ready to move on to Chicago and the Baltimore Ravens? This game was pretty not what I expected.
Yeah, me too.
I did expect Derrick Henry to have a really good game. He didn't really have the yards, but he did have a good game. I expected Rome to have a big game. He had a big game. But what I did not expect is for the Ravens to basically destroy the game without Lamar. Um, and yeah, maybe Caleb just stinks. Caleb is so inaccurate at times, and we've seen other quarterbacks that are currently great like this, though. The difference is those quarterbacks were elite at running the ball at the time, like Lamar Jackson. Like, I don't think people really remember how bad Lamar was at throwing the ball deep or even intermediate for the first 3 years of the career. And like, I was talking with my buddy earlier today about Justin Fields, and it's like Fields has he has been less accurate than Lamar was, but at the same time, he never really has been given the range to just throw the ball a bunch like Lamar was either, and he's not had one guy stick with him and try to help him get there either. So, and I'm not saying that like he would. I'm just saying that it's not happened, right?
Yeah, no, I mean Lamar absolutely epitomizes a quarterback, and Josh Allen. Honestly, I mean these are
Josh Allen as well.
Two of the top 5 quarter. I don't care what your rankings are. They're 2 of the top 5 quarterbacks when we need Lamar healthy.
Yeah,
but they're 2 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. In the first couple of years, they were awful passers, just awful. Like they might have been fine for fantasy. Even Lamar's first full year when he won the MVP, it was very reminiscent of RG3's rookie year, where it's just scripted perfectly, and he executed, and was such a hassle for defenses that they couldn't figure him out. But he was just not a great passer. He was great in the red zone, and he was great running the football, and he would make defensive pay, and he was always good about limiting turnovers. He's been very good with that.
Right. And he, for a running quarterback like him, Lamar's always like taking less sacks. It feels like.
Yeah.
Like I maybe I'm wrong there, but it's always felt like that.
He's generally not great at it, but definitely better than like say the Justin Fields types and those types of guys. Yeah. So, but like you said, like Caleb, it's been a struggle. I mean, we are, a year and a half into this quarterback class, and look, there's some incompletes with, we don't know what McCarthy is. We don't really know what Penix is. Penix, has only had, 10 games or whatever. But like the 3 other ones,
Drake May looks awesome. Awesome. Jade Daniels is awesome if he could stay healthy.
And Bo Nix inconsistent, but Bo Nix is definitely better than what Caleb's producing.
Yeah, I had Bo Nix as my quarterback 1 last year, which was the wrong answer. But like I knew it wasn't Caleb. Like if it was full upside, it was always Jaden Daniels. But I was one of those guys. I dinged him in my rankings because of injury concerns.
Yeah,
basically, absolute ceiling case. It was him, and then I had Drake May at 3. I had Caleb at 4 actually, which that may end up being correct. But I also didn't do content then, so it's nowhere. So it's just people happen to believe that I'm honest about it. But I said that Bo Nix was 1. Like I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna.
Bo Nix is doing better than most people give him credit for. So you were just early on that.
So Luther Burden gets hurt.
Yeah.
He goes down, hits his head, concussion. I'm going to assume he misses this easy matchup versus the Bengals. RIP Luther Burden. DJ Moore had a lot of DJ Moore and Loveland, big parts of the offense. I do wonder if DJ Moore might get featured if they want to trade him. I wonder if he gets featured a little bit this week. I don't really think they really want to trade him, but that's just a feeling for me. Like everything with the Bears all offseason was this guy's going to get traded. They're going to trade for somebody else. That they haven't moved anything.
Yeah. Well, I think partly because they were winning, and My
now it is different.
my guess is they'll look to trade more in the offseason because you generally don't get as much in-season trades. And for a guy who's under contract, like why don't you try and trade him in the offseason? Maybe you can fleece somebody
I mean,
like they were fleeced, or like they fleeced the Panthers. But so, and I think especially with the Burton injury, because concussion,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's 2 or 3. So we'll have to see.
Sometimes they come back. Sometimes you just get another one.
Yeah.
Like Olave. I don't want to
Yeah.
see that, but like that is something that can happen. And they're not like out of the playoff hunt or anything,
No,
right?
not at all.
So like I do think that like they will end up keeping him this year. That's my feeling. And to be honest, like DJ Moore should have had a touchdown. But that was the worst goal line drive I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like you had, I think it was 52 seconds and the ball at the 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you run the ball, I think, and then Caleb tried to take it himself after that, and then he threw the ball
more.
like
he missed more.
Yeah, he missed more on 4th down. I think he took a sack. A sack. He took a sack in the next one, right? Is that?
Why don't you go? Like we could
just
go
find it.
Yeah, because it was. I think I'm getting it confused, but it was ugly. It was very ugly.
So, okay. So is this it? No, that was.
Yeah, no, that was it. At the very bottom.
All right. So.
Yeah, so they get it at the 3. That's what it was. He passed to Loveland first.
Incomplete. Yeah.
Then Duvernay for 2 yards.
Yeah, it was a 2-yard pass short of the end zone.
Exactly.
And then
Devin Duvernay.
Yeah, and then he sneaks it. And then they rush up there because they were almost out of time. And he just sailed the ball to a wide open DJ Moore. Like he was flustered that he didn't get in, basically. Like they basically wasted 40 seconds of time.
I knew there was something where they burnt a play where they didn't get in.
Yeah. So like it was just an awful thing. I was thinking that they ran the ball to start but that's what it was. Because I thought there was an incomplete pass, but I was thinking that was a run. But it's the same thing, right? Like, actually, this is worse. Throwing the ball short of the end zone is probably worse, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
So that's the kind of stuff that makes me worry with Caleb Williams. It's the decisions, and those are not getting better. Like the game time, game management decisions, stuff like that. The inaccuracies and stuff, I think, could eventually be fixed. I don't know about that stuff. Because I didn't watch a lot of them in college, but the very little I did watch, he never really, to me, I never noticed him to be like a really good like manager of the game. But like I said, I didn't watch him a bunch there. So
I think no, and there was some of that. Like you saw his second year at USC when things weren't as good. Like he just couldn't handle it. And I think in this game, and we've seen this, we saw this in the Washington game, we saw this last week in the Saints game. It was just they won the Washington game. The Saints, they blew out the Saints, so it didn't really come into play. But he's just sailing these balls. Like there were multiple passes to Odunze, including the interception. He was late, and Odunze could have had just a huge game. Like he had a really good game, 7 for 114. But the interception, which I think that would have been like a 15-yard catch, Odunze was open, had a step. He was late. The defender, jumped her out. And there was another one to Odunze that he could have had. There's another, not just the touchdown to Moore, there was another one to Moore that he just totally missed him. Just wide open.
Yeah, wide open down the sideline. And he sailed up by like 7 yards.
Yeah. Like Caleb could have had a big game. He really could have.
No, the game was there for it to be had, for sure. Bears Raiders swap wide receivers. I mean, I think before Keyshawn Booty like really came out and like is doing what he's doing, like I think the Patriots would have been a team that was interested. But if I'm
Yeah.
the Patriots, I don't want to mess with what I got. Like I know they don't have a quote elite receiver, but like I don't think it matters right now. Because like they are exactly what the Bills want to be a wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what they are, or the Packers. Like they are a good version of that.
Yep.
So like I do think that the Bills would be a team that'd be interested, but I don't know what their cap is like. I know that the Patriots do have the cap to deal with it if they really wanted to do that, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they do. All
Yeah.
right.
So the Ravens side, like you said, Henry looked good. They bottom him up sometimes, but he was great where it mattered most. But Huntley, got to give him credit because his other times coming in this year and what we saw last year with the Dolphins, sorry about that, what we saw in previous years, that first year where he filled in with Lamar, he was really good. After that, he's been bad. The second year he had to fill in Lamar, he was bad. He was bad since then. And he looked great. This is the best Huntley's looked in 4 years.
I will say he did look awesome. But on the where's the big run? The 29-yard run, like Flowers is blocking a guy and he runs directly into Flowers with nobody else around. Like
Yeah.
how do you not dodge the only two players on the field? like there were only two within like there was just another safety off like 10 yards behind, right? But like you literally ran directly into your blocker, like the one guy blocking, the only guy down there. There's two guys on the field. Like, how do you run into those guys? I don't get it. Like it was wild. I'm sure Mike Robb found it pretty hilarious being a Ravens fan. But yeah, he definitely did seem a lot more calm and like Flowers had a really good game because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and
I was pretty worried about Flowers with Huntley playing because Huntley hadn't been looking good the last couple times he's played.
no, and he took, he only played half the game against the Rams, and he took like 6 sacks in the game or 5 sacks. Like he looked awful. And here he only took 2 sacks. Just didn't make mistakes. Like he generally ran well. He completed the ball, kept the chains moving.
Yeah. And there's not really a whole lot else. Like Derrick Henry looked really good.
Yeah.
I do really like that they're mixing in Mitchell. I think mixing in Mitchell will make Henry like I know like at least doing it early, like early in the game, mix in some Mitchell because he is explosive and we've seen that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the 25-yard run. He had a couple 10-yard runs too. Like you remove that, that's 18 yard, 3 for 18. Like he had another decent run, and then he kind of got stuffed on 2. But like that's fine. Like those explosive runs matter a lot. So
yeah, one note I did want to mention, I forgot what the Bears was. It was almost an even split with Swift and Monangai in terms of snaps.
I think they went drive by drive. I do.
I don't know if it was drive by drive, but it was mixed in early. It wasn't like late or it wasn't a certain situation. It was because even on the first drive where they settled for a field goal, they gave both a goal line carry.
Well, that one, they ran Monangai on first down, and then they ran Swift on second, third, and fourth, and directly right at the center of the defense every time. Something that wasn't working, you continue to do. I love to see when coaches do that. Like it's especially when it doesn't work. Like it's like, no, this is what we want to be, but we're not actually there yet to be able to do this. So, and yeah, Monangai is looking like he is going to be one of the better picks. Like next week. So in like BR, is Monangai draftable next week against Cincinnati?
I mean, definitely in the 12-man.
Yeah, in the 12-man for sure. But like if you did like, I'm not going to do 150 or anything, but like
Yeah.
if you were to do 50 drafts, would you entertain a single Menungai share? I think it's
At
like
least
I don't think it's crazy, like
no.
I don't think I'll do it much, but I think I'll probably pick them once, like
No, and it's like you said, like, in these we're trying, I mean, running back scores are a little higher, obviously.
yeah,
But if you get a guy around 20 points, like he's very playable. And
yeah.
there's gonna
This is a
be
good point.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
no, it is, but I do think just the fact that Monangai has already worked his way in this well when Swift is performing well. It's not like
yeah,
like early in this season Swift was really bad. Now Swift is playing better, but Monangai's still eating into that. So to me, that's an indication they do like Monangai. And I just do wonder if going forward, the red zone stuff and probably will benefit them because Monangai is a better in between tackles runner. So, I think we could see that. And that's just the thing. Like if this continues, and particularly if that starts to even up, the red zone split, there will be a game or two where Monangai has like 2 touchdowns. And
yeah.
just
There will 50 yards, 2 touchdowns,
yeah.
right? Like that's a pretty good week. Um, so yeah, are we good on the Raven side as well then?
Yeah.
All right, on to the Buffalo Bills at the Carolina Panthers. Um, some of us thought that maybe there was a chance that they could slow them down a little bit, and some of us did not. Um, and I kind of was a little worried about Carolina's defense being able to stop James Cook because like the they've looked good, but they hadn't looked like elite yet, right?
Mhm.
And this was to me easily their biggest contest, like against the run. But this is now 2 weeks that the Panthers have actually given up a decent amount of yards, and this was a lot of yards, right? Like it kind of looks like maybe the Panthers run D. Like I need to go back and look at what all teams the Panthers have played against this year, um, because other than the Bijan game, like what running backs have they really stopped? Like I haven't went back and looked at that yet, but
Well, they stopped Javante, they stopped Achan, but
okay,
some of that, the they became back and forth games, and I think that took it off. Where the Bills just said, "Hey, we're going to establish the run. We got away." And this is, what I talked about a little last week was I think the Bills know James Cook is by far their best offensive weapon, not named Josh Allen. And for whatever reason, the 2 previous games before the bye, they got away from him some.
yeah,
Um, and it's like, okay, we had our bye. We lost 2 games. Let's not do that. And yeah, I thought they were going to try and come out and establish the run, and they absolutely did. And Cook just had a huge game. And if not for, Jonathan Taylor, we'd be even talking more about what Cook did in this game.
they benched him in the third.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean, like
I know. Like,
that's the thing. Like they benched him in the third. They
yeah.
actually they benched him, and they realized that he was just a few yards away from 200, I think, and they put him back out. And then he like broke off another decent sized run and got to 216, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Uh,
something like that.
yeah, it's like, oh, okay. I guess we won't just get 200. We'll get a little more. Um, so Khalil Shakir looked really good in this game, and like he is so much fun after the catch. Like
Yeah.
I know I don't have much of him in best ball. I didn't like him a lot as a pick, but like I do like the player. He's a lot like Zay Jones, where I respect the actual player a lot more than I like their ADPs. Um, but like that, like I really enjoy watching a guy who can kind of shake people like Shakir can in the open field. It looks
Oh
it
yeah,
looks so smooth.
he's some of the most fun after the catch,
Yeah.
receptions already this year.
Right. The one where he split the two guys, he just ran straight down the field.
Yeah,
This was such a smooth looking touchdown, this 54-yarder. Like,
yeah, no, and I mean they, the Bills only had 23 attempts, only 19 with Josh Allen. So, ignore some of the stuff with
right.
Mitch because I don't believe Shakir was out there for any of those snaps. But 6 catches, 88 yards, touchdown in a game that they didn't. I mean, honestly, the Bills could not have thrown the ball a single time and they would have won this game.
Right.
That's how dominant they were. But no, it is good to see Shakir, and it's just tough for obviously receivers to get there in this kind of game script, and also some short fields due to the massive amount of turnovers.
I actually bet Dalton Kincaid touchdown pretty heavy, and then he ended up getting hurt in the second. It wasn't in the first because I didn't get him cashed out.
Yeah,
It was in the second.
yeah,
And I think he was on the way to have a big game as well. Because like you look, Jackson Haas got some targets. Dawson Knox had some. I think it would have been, might not have been all the way consolidated, but Kincaid was getting open.
yeah.
One of those two, Josh Allen missed him.
Hmm.
Like Josh Allen just missed him when he was wide open.
Yeah.
Uh, I hope, as a Chiefs fan, I want Kincaid to not play this week because I've heard some people, and I don't know, my mind is a weapon or Sleazebomb. He keeps saying on our Saturday show that Spagnola is really good against tight ends. I just haven't corrected them yet because I'm pretty sure the last 3 years, last year specifically, I remember we were not good against tight ends. I actually let's look and see where that is right now. Or I'll look. We can talk about the game, but I'll look in
Yeah.
but yeah, oops, wrong tab. There we go. But yeah, Keon Coleman just not getting involved still. He had the awesome week 1,
Yeah.
and it kind of feels like it was just because Shakir was hurt.
Well, I also think it's just when you only throw the ball 23 times and one guy gets 7, and honestly, the starters aren't even out there for a quarter of those, or 20% of those. It's honestly tough for any more than one guy to get, and it's also short fields because this wasn't them having to go 80 yards, and when they did, Cook just ran them. So it is tough in that regard. Because they didn't have a ton of offensive snaps because they had big plays. They had the big Shakir play, a couple of big Cook runs, and then short fields from the turnovers. So I don't know. I don't know if this is an indictment on Coleman or anyone else. It's just this was a game where it was going to be impossible for multiple receivers to get there with just how good the running game was and how the game played out.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. So on to the other side, Rico Dowdle once again just eye test dominated Chuba.
Yeah.
After the game, coach was asked. There are some coach speak quotes about it, and he basically said, "Chuba is a leader on the team. We wanted to make sure we gave him a chance to go out there and prove it, right? But we will." Moving forward, look to do what's best for the team or something like that. So it kind of sounds like I could bring up the actual quote because I was just there a minute ago. So on whether Canales is considering giving a heavier workload to Dowdle, that's something we're looking at. And again, you have to respect that the job Chuba has done for us to get to this point. We've established the mentality about how we run and how we cannot ignore the fact that Rico has made an impact when he's been out there.
Yeah.
So these things we're talking through as a staff, and we'll make the decision as the week goes on. So kind of sounds like to me they're going to go more of a 60-40 split instead of a 50-50 split. And it wasn't even 50-50 here. I don't know what the actual snaps were. But and they might have just put Chuba out there, like, because I think Chuba ran like the last 2 drives, but the game was way out of control at that point.
Yeah,
So
like
you
Chuba
can't really. I think it was
got that
50-50 until
touchdown.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's clear. Like these last 2 games against the Jets and in this game, so it's not even like people were saying, "Oh, Rico in the revenge game against the Cowboys or against the Dolphins." Like that's not fair comparisons. But the last 2 games against the same defenses, Dowdle has just been so much more explosive. Like it's not even close. And not that if they'd given Dowdle 20 carries, this game would have been a different story. They're going to get beat no matter what. But Dowdle would have had a nice game, and maybe they get another score or 2 because of that. He looked good. And, yeah, I think going forward, it's got to be 60-40, 65-35, something like that.
Yeah, and, I mean, you could see, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it looks like the offense, like, just they feel more inspired. You could see it the way that everybody, like the offensive line, is playing when Rico's on the field. Like it feels like they're playing more energized. Maybe that's just wrong, but
Well, I think it's a momentum thing. Like you get a good run on first down, then it makes second and third down easy. You know what I mean? Like when you get stuffed on first down at 2nd and 9, you start to get very limited in what you can do.
Correct. But yeah, so Ted McMillan also looked very, very good. Andy, so before we get there, let's just talk about Andy Dalton and how horrendous he looked. Like I was talking about Kirk Cousins turtling up. Andy Dalton like made that look like Kirk Cousins was standing in the pocket strong. Because like he did like so the Panthers the story of this game to me was the Panthers were kind of moving the ball on them, and Andy Dalton goes down the field and gets that fumble.
Yeah.
And then, which that was just a hustle play by the defender. He could have held on to the ball more, but like it's whatever. But then like he comes back and then he takes a couple sacks like to ruin a drive. And like every drive seemed like it failed because of Andy Dalton more than anything else. It didn't seem like even that the offensive line was really blocking that bad. It felt more like Andy Dalton was just, and I don't know what the number of like time to throw was, but it felt like he was holding on to the ball very long. He wouldn't ever throw the ball away. He took a lot of sacks, 7 sacks, like 45 yards. That's Justin Fields numbers. Whenever you're in Justin Fields sack range, that's not a good thing.
And 7 sacks and just 31 dropbacks. That's not good.
Yeah. But like for the skill players, like Sanders only had the one real catch at the end. Like I know he had multiple, but he didn't really do much. But Jalen Coker had a flash play. That's good. Ted McMillan was awesome.
Yeah.
He could have caught that touchdown. I think that
but yeah,
it was a really good defensive play. I do think that he could have caught it. I think he
it would have been a great catch, but
yes, like that's a catch that Jefferson generally comes down with, although he dropped one like last week. Or Jamar Chase is going to make, or apparently, Mason Taylor? This is
oh my God, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, or Mason Taylor would make that catch. But yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think this sums up like they just Coker, like you said, had a nice play, but honestly, Andy Dalton was super bad in this game, taking sacks, turning the ball over, killing drives. Hubbard those issues as well, but it also just showed like honestly, it's McMillan and bust throwing the ball, and the offensive line, I didn't think it was great. They suffered multiple injuries in this game. I believe Brady Christensen's out for the year now, so
yeah, and
it's gonna be a problem.
Isn't Ed Oliver out?
Yeah. Bills had a big loss there as well.
By the way, they were discussing I looked it up also in another screen, but KC was fifth or sixth worst last year in fantasy points allowed to tight end, and they're like fourth best this year. So they're actually not a good matchup for tight end this year currently.
Yeah.
So, and we're far enough in the season that stuff does matter. So, all right, are we ready to move on? And Jimmy Horn looks fast, by the way.
He's very explosive.
Yeah, he looks very fast. All right, the next game we have is the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals. Like 2 weeks in a row, we get one of these games to where the team that's behind doesn't have any business coming back and being in the game, and yet they win. So Brees Hall, 56%. Isaiah Davis, 46%. Like Isaiah Davis had himself a game. And then nothing to really see over here except for P. Ryan, 42%. P. Ryan absolutely cooking everybody's like Chase Brown had an awesome game.
Oh, yeah.
But Chase Brown could have been running back one on the slate. Like P. Ryan really rugged some people. He really did.
And it also could have been Taj Brooks. That would have been quite nice.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Like, and I was going to get to that, and we can talk about it right now. But these late round rookie handcuffs that we were very sure were going to be the running back to Taj Brooks and DJ Giddens, neither one are able to see the field right now. And Giddens didn't even have anybody in front of him.
Yeah. They picked up Amir Abdullah.
They picked somebody up to not play him. Was he a healthy scratch again? I think last week he was. I heard somebody say that. I didn't actually look it up, but I'll look into it. But yeah. Like either way, he didn't. Like neither one of them are getting anything right. So, and yeah, that's a good call, Gunner. Like 40% targets is always good. So yeah, on the Jets side, Mason Taylor looks really good. He had a catchable ball thrown to him by Brees Hall at the end of the game. Is actually like underthrown, and Mason Taylor just completely bossed him. Like
that was a great catch.
The number one, like two players on the Jets had 5 receptions. Neither one of them are wide receivers. Isaiah Davis, man, had a game. Like I liked Isaiah Davis as a prospect last year, and I thought he had a touchdown. He didn't have a touchdown. He just had a bunch of yards.
No.
He had 7 rushes for 65 with a 50-yarder. So he's actually only 2 yards a carry except for the explosive run. And then 5 catches for 44 yards, 109 total yards on 12 touches is pretty fine.
Oh, yeah. No, he had some really big plays for them. But they're, Brees having, his best day finding the end zone, not only as a passer, as you mentioned, but twice on the ground, which is something we've not seen. And I mean, the Bengals defense, and Hendrickson got hurt again, but Justin Fields not taking a single sack.
As soon as he went out of the game, you could see the Bengals defense just melt. Like you've seen it live. You just seen them completely. They basically gave up.
Yeah.
And it's wild because they were well ahead in the game. Like, I don't know if I know he's an awesome player, but I don't think that it looked like the wind was completely out of their sails when that happened. And it took some really bad coaching to lose this game as well.
Yeah. The other thing, I'll just finish on the Jet side real quick.
Yeah.
Like Fields not taking a sack is big, but I think that's more of a Bengals stat than a Field stat.
I agree.
I do wonder, what this is. Obviously, they had the bye this week. Like, what does this look like going forward? Because the literal owner is saying he's done,
Yeah.
and then Tyrod's hurt, and like they go back to him, they get the win, but is it enough? We'll see. I mean, maybe they give him the start coming off the bye, but
apparently Fields like went to social media talking about how he was super broken up about it, and I heard that. I didn't look at I don't follow players.
I don't. From what I heard, he said something like, "I'm not on social media" or something like that. But I don't follow it too much. But
this was from Chess Liam. I don't know what he's seen or read, but
yeah,
I listened to him and he said that apparently he didn't take it well or something.
Yeah, I mean,
and I mean, whatever, right? Like, it would be something that'd be hard to like with the way he was treated in Pittsburgh. Like, it would probably feel pretty bad. But yeah, I'm happy for Fields. He actually looked competent as a passer for the most part. Like, he still had the really bad throws, but
yeah,
when he was on, they were like, it wasn't like a lot of the passes were really good catches by the receivers. Those 21 completions were all directly to the pass, like directly where it needed to be.
mm-hmm.
So I do think that that's a good thing as well, like along with mitigating the sacks. Because he's found ways to get sacks in ways he shouldn't as well. So that's a big step up.
Yeah, I'll just be interested to see what it looks like after the bye when Tyrod theoretically is healthy. And yeah, I just don't know how much I trust this Jets offense going forward. I mean, great game for Hall and Mason Taylor for our best ball shares there, but even Fields had a very usable week. Because he had what, 1 or 2 2-point conversions as well, I think.
Yeah, he had a single one, I think.
Okay.
Is that listed?
You'd have to look at the actual score and it'll
yeah. I know for a fact. Well, Isaiah, that's what it was. Isaiah Davis got the 2-point conversion because that was the one that was overturned because it was ruled
that's
incomplete. Right. So Isaiah Davis did get those extra points. So he ended up with 11. No, so there's 2.5 and 10. So 14.5 points.
Yeah.
For Isaiah Davis. That's a good week.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. So Joe Flacco also almost the same exact stat line all the way across, right? Like 21 for 32, 21 for 34, 223 to 244.
Yeah.
One touchdown to 2 touchdowns, like 1 sack between the 2 of them. Like, and the 1 sack was like, wasn't that a near game killing sack though? Because that was in the 4th. It was a Will Johnson sack, or not Will Johnson.
Will McDonald.
Will McDonald. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking Johnson. That is not correct because he's a corner. Fields talked in the press conference after the game. Okay, that's what it was. So, once again, 19 targets. Like, too bad Joe Flacco is injured. Hopefully he's able to play. But he did get injured, I guess, at the end of this game. But he did go back into the game and finish the game. So I highly doubt that they sit him out for any reason. And I think Joe Flacco is having the time of his life right now. So I don't think he wants to sit either. And T. Higgins, only 1 catch, but it was a 44-yard touchdown.
Yeah, this is what I don't get. Only 2 targets for T. Higgins.
Yes. Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, it's not like the Jets' pass rush was okay, but it's not like he was happy to be there because of both receivers, not just because of Chase, right? And last week, yes, Chase had 20-some targets, but T still had 13 or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But with that being said, I mean, they had 23 rushes.
No, they ran the ball really well. But I do think, like it's one thing to throw to Chase, obviously, but it's also, it's not like Chase was getting loose for any big plays. I just think one of the things that I felt like they got away from, and maybe it was almost one of those things like their rushing success worked against them at the end. Because I think it was their second to last drive they didn't score on and gave the ball back to the Jets. And that gave the Jets a chance to take the lead. And if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember that drive, but to me, it was like, how are you not doing what you did early in this game and cooking them still? There was something in the fourth quarter that I remember I was just shocked with how it played out. So anyways, I think going forward, hopefully Flacco's fine, but yeah, they need to get T more involved. Because defense, they were just like bracketing Chase. Just, yeah, okay, he'll get 7 yards, but he's not going to get over the top of us, and he's not going to beat us. And I feel like something should have been more open for T down the field, beyond the one that was.
Yeah, I think I am ready to move on to the next game.
Yep.
Hold on, I got my windows all messed up. All right, we're good now. So the next game is San Francisco and the Texans. Go ahead while I set up the timestamp.
So this was another one kind of similar to the Dolphins-Falcons game where, one team kind of came in to this looking, at least above average, if not good, and that being the 49ers. The other team coming into this limping, like Texans weren't playing when they are at full health, and now they're down Nico and Christian Kirk, and of course Mixon's still out. And the way this game played out, Texans came in with a game plan, and a little different here, Texans being at home, and just honestly played excellent. They had long extended drives, just totally ate clock. Their defense was swarming, like really got to Mac Jones, really bottled up Christian McCaffrey, but it was also, another kind of situation where they just couldn't establish anything. And then the Texans just were kind of in cruise control and just took over this game. And CJ Stroud, I mean, this might be the best we've seen CJ Stroud since his rookie year.
Yeah, he looked really sharp. And like
without his two veteran receivers.
I mean, Xavier Hutchinson is a veteran receiver, right? Well, we all love him. He just looked. He wasn't pressured, and like
no sacks. He had no sacks.
Yeah,
I mean,
and we know that they are completely decimated on defense, right? Like the Niners are. Like this isn't a CJ Stroud stat. This is a team stat for the San Francisco 49ers. Like they're down to like how many? What do they got? Like 15 injured players on defense or something stupid?
It's
a lot. It's a lot.
That's why I brought up the Falcons earlier, because the week before, there were no injury differences between this week and Sunday night against the Falcons. And they got a lot of pressure on Penix. I think they only got 2 sacks, maybe 3, but Penix was under pretty constant pressure. This game, Stroud.
Well, Huff was out too. Huff was in that game, and Huff is not in this game.
Okay, because for some reason I thought he was, but
I don't think Bryce Huff was played. Let's make sure. I don't see Huff anymore.
Yeah, so you must be right. I must have missed that he wasn't playing.
Yeah, Bryce Huff got hurt, I think, in the fourth quarter of that game.
Okay. But yeah, so Stroud 39 dropbacks, and then honestly all the runs. So it was more like 46 dropbacks, and he just anytime he was pressured, he ran and made it a positive play.
And he's always had that ability. He just never pulls it out until the playoffs and stuff. And like I think that for the state of their offensive line, like going into next year, that's something that he's going to have to embrace a little bit, unless they can significantly improve that O line.
Yeah. I mean, as we talked about earlier, and Justin Herbert probably even has a little bit more mobility than him, but look at Justin Herbert. When things would break down, he'd scramble, pick up first downs or 7 yards, and it's like 3rd and 3. And Stroud did that some this game. So, and he's done it once or twice earlier this year. I think it was maybe it's the Titans game or the Ravens game. He had a couple nice runs, maybe both. But the interesting thing here though is like how he was as a passer, because even last week, and again, Seattle was a good defense, but last week against Seattle, he was forcing the ball, like it was ugly. This game, he looks so relaxed. I mean, he did have the one bad interception, but other than that, man, was he sharp.
Yeah.
And
and we got all of our rookies involved. Jalen Noel got involved. He got that huge catch.
Mm-hmm.
He looks really, really good. Woody Marks is flashy now. I don't know how you have 4 catches, 4 yards, 49 yards, and a long of 50, but congratulations to Woody Marks for having 4 catches for 49 yards with a long of 50. I don't good. That I've not seen that stat line before, but that is something. We got Jaden Higgins with another touchdown. He finally got a second possible usable week in best ball. So many of my bags are still probably dead. Like, I don't think of all the players I've like seen on the teams. Whenever I click through some of my advancing teams, I haven't seen his name once.
Yeah, I mean, it is tougher for obviously the higher draft capital than say somebody like Noel, who
like that's where those elite those quarterbacks were starting to go.
Yeah,
and like honestly, like I wasn't taking Scatterboo there, but like the next round I was. Like it depends. Like the beginning of the year, that's where Scatterboo was going, and then he kind of moved up, right?
Yeah.
So like if you didn't take him, if you took him in the early drafts, you didn't get Scatterboo, which may end up going in the other direction eventually. But yeah, we'll get to that. But can we just get rid of Xavier Hutchinson, please? Like,
and Braxton Berrios, 5 catches. Get that out here. Like, what?
Like at least consolidate one of those away. Like Berrios, like 5 for 38. Say, like, talk about like this is what CJ Stroud's supposed to be though. He is surgical. He's got good pocket presence. Like he's got the ability to get to his 3rd and 4th read, and you see that here. 5 receptions, 5, 5, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2. Yeah. Like he spread the ball out. What is that? Not 8? 8 different 9? Wait, yeah, 9 players got catches.
Yep.
That's what he's capable of. And he does that every year whenever he's given time. He's just not got time this year. The only reason he had time is because of how banged up San Francisco is.
Yeah.
And speaking of San Francisco, like, and by the way, Woody Marks looked pretty solid as a runner too. Nick Chubb is really dead. He's fine. Like, you took him late. You got a couple good weeks. He's still like, if Woody gets hurt, he's still the number 1 on a team. That's about all you can say about it. But I'm glad that Woody Marks is out there. Like I didn't like Woody as a prospect, and I'm happy to say I'm wrong. Like he's thicker, and he looks like he can bounce off tackles a little better than I expected.
He's definitely done it more, I think, this year than he did in all of his college career.
Yeah, like he in the close, like he really looks good. Just bouncing off linebackers and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the Niners. Christian McCaffrey, only 8 carries for 25 yards. I believe he played 48 of 49 snaps or something.
Yeah, 46 of 48, yeah.
46 of 48 snaps. And then did they even run? Okay, they did run Robinson on the other 2. Brian Robinson, by the way, had an awesome kickoff return.
Yeah.
He had a really good kickoff return. It gets you no points, but it looked cool. So you can feel pretty good about the Brian Robinson return, but it ain't going to help you any. The CMC also, like, all of his receiving production came in the late third, early fourth on a single drive. Like, it was just one drive. He basically got all of his work. And like, they were plastered to McCaffrey. Every catch they made, like, there was somebody draped all over him whenever he made the catch. He can make those, but that's why it was 6 targets, 3 receptions.
Yeah.
Is because it was 50-50. Jake Tonjes steals a touchdown from Kittle, probably. Like, I don't know. I'm still not sure. Like, I think it
Kittle
was
open.
Tonjes.
I mean, I think it was Tonjes, but Kittle was open.
Yeah, I think it was Tonjes, but like, the ball was so high, it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think it was Tonjes, but if it was a bad throw. Like,
yeah, I wonder because the route is clearly, it's a 2-man route, both tight ends out in the flat there.
It was a levels. It was a levels route, right?
And Kittle's the higher level, and I wonder if, like, Jones just saw Tonjes first, was like, I'm throwing, then he saw Kittle, and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Steve was saying, and kind of what I'm saying. Like, I think he just looks better in the NFL. Like, and every once in a while, you get a player who, when they get to the NFL level, like, for some reason, they look better as in the NFL than in college. It's not very often, but a lot of that is because, like, I think everyone expects USC to have these awesome rosters and to have all this elite talent around you at all times because it's USC. And I did this. Like, I'm like, well, if he's not doing this at USC, like, how good is he, right? And I do think that maybe that part of my analysis was completely off.
Yeah, I mean,
because it doesn't look like it definitely looks like he fits in now.
Yeah, no, and like you said, like, we see this sometimes, and we'll see it at different positions. One of the most notable ones is Terry McLaurin. I mean, I don't think he ever had more than 400 yards receiving at Ohio State. Was just like a role player there. Like, they're, he'd start, but he was the third receiver. And now he's damn good, so I mean, that's obviously the high end of that, but it's Mark's just, and to me the biggest thing is, like, we always knew he could catch the ball, but his running vision and his ability to contact balance, to fight off arm tackles and stuff like that was just awful at USC. Like, it was like when he was carrying the ball, it was like 2-hand touch, like, it was bad at USC.
Yeah, I mean, I will get all kinds of things wrong. like, absolutely.
And no, I was so wrong on him also. I thought, like, he was going to be at best, honestly, like an Amir Abdullah type, like, that's kind of who he reminded me of. Like, could do some stuff in the passing game, but no rushing ability.
To be honest, like, it was probably a lot of scars from Dylan Lowby for me. But all right, we'll talk about the Niners a little bit. Like, Jawan Jennings, that ball that he dropped and then almost caught and then dropped again, like, that was the slowest looking catch I've ever seen. Like, I don't know how long that ball stayed in the air, but, like, everything felt like I wasn't even in the moment. You know how, like, if you're in a moment, high situation, like pressure situation, like, time does slow. Like, that happened to me on that play, and I wasn't even involved in that play. Like, it just felt like it lasted forever. And like, what do you think about this Jawan Jennings on the trade block rumor stuff?
I don't know. I mean, I get it from the sense of, if they're not going to move on from Ayuk, Ricky Pearsall, I mean, that's their future, right? Those guys are younger.
Yeah.
Ayuk's expensive. Pearsall's on the rookie first-round deal. But it is weird, because I know the 49ers defense is terrible, but if Purdy and Pearsall and eventually Ayuk come back, like their offense, not so much this game, but against the Falcons, all these other games with Mac Jones, against the Rams a couple Thursdays ago, even against the Bucks was producing, and those games didn't even have Kittle or Jennings in, at least one of them, in the Rams game. And it's just like this offense is enough to get you to the play. It's honestly very similar to the Cowboys, except from the 49ers, there's injuries. Cowboys was just, they didn't have the defensive talent. Like their offenses can be great.
And let's be like, let's understand, and I'm sure everybody listening does, but like the Texans defense is like by the numbers the best in the league at like everything.
Yeah.
Basically, like they have an insane, like they're just so good at that. Like them and the Browns, their defenses are insane. Like it is not like I don't know which one is actually better, but like I think that there's no question it's those two.
I think the Texans are better top to bottom. I think the Browns have the best player in Myles Garrett.
Who we're gonna get to very shortly.
Absolutely showcase that in a second.
Yeah.
But no, this Texans defense, this was a very tough matchup, and no Purdy, none of your top receivers. I don't know if I'd trade Jennings, but I get it long term. Like it just doesn't make sense. In particular, they feel like Kendrick Bourne and Demarcus Robinson can fill in like the secondary receiver stuff. But I don't even know what they get for Jennings. It's like, what do they get? A 6th-round pick?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's like my whole thing with the Breece Hall stuff. Like, what are they going to get at this point? Like
at least there, it's like Breece Hall is going to be a free agent, and are you going to franchise him? Like, the other thing is 49ers can make the playoffs. So yeah, they're going to be dogs on whoever they play. But I mean, we see teams get hot. I mean, Washington should not have beaten Tampa. They should not have beaten Detroit. They made the NFC Championship game last year.
Yeah. And it just, and with a good offense like that, like, because Brock Purdy will definitely change things up.
Yeah.
Like, and especially if like, and you're saying like Pearsall to me is the key. Like, I think he is the best player they got other than McCaffrey. And he's just not been out there. I mean, I guess Kittle.
But that's the thing. You could have Pearsall, McCaffrey, and Kittle, and boy, if Ayuk is anything late in the for the playoff run.
And like if Jennings gets relegated back to his role in the Super Bowl year,
so what?
That's fine. Like that's still a role that's useful, know. So, all right. Speaking of Myles Garrett, let's go to the Cleveland Browns versus the New England Patriots.
Can we just say the Myles Garrett versus New England Patriots?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it was. We had 5 sacks by Myles Garrett. 5.
Yeah, insane game.
And by the way, they pulled him, and he was upset that he didn't finish the game. Then I think he wanted to try to go for the record because the record's 7, set by my boy Derek Thomas.
Yeah, and somebody else tied that. Was it Darnold or Aaron Donald?
It might have been Donald a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but it's I honestly think he was just more upset. He's like, I'm leaving it all on the field, and this offense can't do anything.
I mean, I think that's most of it, but at the same time, like if you're close-ish to a record,
I'm sure he would have felt better getting a record.
What else do the Browns have to work for this year? Like what else is there?
That's fair.
Like what? Like he can set an NFL all-time record. There's 0 chance of them getting to the playoffs. So if he ends up getting hurt, like it's fine, I guess, because like you just get a better draft pick. But like, yeah, we'll get to that game later. But So the target, let's go to the routes on the New England side because it is always something to look at. Mac Hollins, 72%. Booty, 74%. Diggs went down again to 51 now,
Mhm.
which is weird to me. I don't think he's draftable in BR anymore. Um, I think that in the 12 mans, you could argue to take him, but I think I want Booty. Like, I think Kayshawn Booty is the better pick now. And why does Matt Collins have 7 receptions?
Don't. I mean, this is just as bad as the Xavier Hutchinson stuff to me. I'm
This
just
is
so tilted.
worse. This is worse. Like their top guys are healthy. They're in top.
Oh my god. No, first I want to say on the Patriots side, what a tale of two halves. Because at halftime, I was like, oh, May's gonna have his worst game of the year. Because Myles Garrett was unblockable, he's under pressure. I think May had already had the interception, if I remember correctly, and he had 0 touchdowns at half, I believe. And then he came out in the second half and was just insane. And May is just he's so good.
We're not hearing people talk about it, but Drake May needs to be in the MVP conversation.
Absolutely.
Like yes, Mahomes is up there. Up until these last 2 weeks, like I think Baker just worked himself out of the conversation.
Yeah.
But like Sam Darnold is kind of sneaking in there, but like I think Drake May right now, to me, should be the leader. Like him, Herbert, Mahomes. To me, actually the leader to me should be Jonathan Taylor, but we all know that won't happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Like,
but
it's not going to happen, but that is absolutely what should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Travion Henderson, by the way, gets in the game, gives him a little spark. Kind of wild.
He does.
Kind of wild that happened. He got a fumble.
Yeah.
Let's see if Vrabel gives the rookie the same treatment that he gives Stevenson or not.
Well, I don't think Henderson came back in after the fumble.
I mean, I think the game was kind of over.
It was, but they still plays, like they still could have given him work.
Yeah. So like, I'm just curious for like next week, right? Like what we see, like, because I feel like he's gonna doghouse the hey, what's up? The place to be. I haven't seen you here before. Thanks for popping in. Nick's has been too sporadic, half to half, but like if he continues to do what he's doing the rest of the season, like he will work himself into the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
Like he's on like the verge, like he's like 7-8-ish in my opinion right now. Like he's not worked himself completely out yet. But like he still has a little bit to go.
Mm-hmm.
So Jalen Hurts is not, in my opinion, but
no.
we'll go over that game. I think it might be next. Yeah, it is next. But yeah, like I hope that he allows Travion to come back in the game, like, and play a bunch next week, because honestly, like Travion is the spark they needed to get their offense really moving. Like they had a good pass player too, but then when Travion got one of those big runs that he got, because he had a couple of them, that's what really got the offense able to move.
No, I agree. Like the first half, this offense, it wasn't just May, like the offense as a whole was just stuck. And then Henderson got a couple carries in the first half, but second half got some big plays. Then May started hitting some big plays, and this offense looked like they were playing, the Bengals, not the Browns. So it was very encouraging to see the offense as a whole, like, just kind of change their game plan and get things going. Right. And it was honestly kind of remind me of the Bills game, where if you remember in the first half of the Bills game, May didn't have a great half. Patriots didn't have a great half offensively, but they kept it close. In second half, May was just like lights out, him and Diggs.
Yeah.
And Ramondre got the touchdowns, but May had a really big second half and, got the win. And it kind of reminded me of that because Browns went down and got a touchdown pretty early to Fannin, and you're thinking, Patriots got a field goal, and then I think another field goal, and you're thinking, oh man, maybe the Brown, this be another Packers game where the Browns steal one, but no, it was not.
Yeah, Myles Garrett destroyed Will Campbell in the first quarter or so, and then they started giving Hunter Henry chip help.
Yeah,
over there, and then Hunter Henry I think he had 2 false starts, trying to do that as well. I know he had at least one.
yeah.
I'd be scared of Myles Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame him. Yeah, so Demario Douglas once again pops in for one giant play. He's going to do this every game, I think. I think he's going to come in and just steal 40 yards from somebody who matters. He's not going to do enough to matter for you in fantasy, but he's going to do enough to make somebody not matter for somebody else or for you.
In this week, it felt like it was Diggs.
I mean, yeah, because Diggs got a touchdown finally, and he finished with 14 yards. Full point PPR. Stephon Diggs got 11.4 yards or points. He didn't even beat out Pat Bryant.
Yeah. It is frustrating. But I do think this offense, I think Diggs will have some big weeks going forward. I don't know why it was the Mac Hollins week. Because normally he's the one who'll get one big play. He had that in the Titans game. He had a 30-yard catch.
It might have actually been Hunter Henry that he stopped, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that was kind of a middle of the field kind of route that Hunter Henry kind of runs a lot. So, that could be. And Hunter Henry, by the way, over the last 3 or 4 weeks, since those 2 weeks in a row that he was awesome, he's been pretty mild.
Yeah.
I do think that this specific matchup is really bad for Hunter Henry, though.
No, it was.
So I haven't looked at what next week's matchups are yet. I haven't even looked at all. The only thing I know, because I've heard it 12 times already, is Bills Chiefs. That's the thing.
New England plays Atlanta.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because Bijan,
I know that's a tough matchup.
It's the second best run defense, I think, fantasy points allowed. So, all right. So on to the Cleveland Browns side. Quinshon Judkins got hurt with a shoulder, I believe it was. They do have a bye week this week. I'm assuming they kind of act like they think he'll be ready the following week. Dylan Gabriel, once again, not a great game. A lot of people wanting Shadur in there. At this point, coming out of the bye the next week, I think if you're going to play him, it's got to be within the next couple of weeks. Not obviously the week of bye, but a couple weeks after that. But Shadur randomly popped up with an injury before the game.
Yeah.
And they didn't even put him on the roster. So, I don't even know what the injury was or how bad it was.
I think it was a back injury.
That's really not good for somebody who's 22 years old.
Yeah, I don't know what especially when you're not getting hit. It's not like he's getting hit in practice.
He's been carrying the team. It's all those practice reps. We got Harold Fannin is an absolute monster. But and Dylan Sampson, if Judkins does miss, Sampson could be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say this is the problem with the Dylan Gabriel experience is there's no concern about getting the ball to receivers. I mean, Bond and Judy combined for 6 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards. Thrash got 2 catches. One was for 21. It gets all tight ends and running backs, and most of it extremely short. And every now and then, like the Fannin touchdown was a really nice draw. Drew that up really well. Even though Njoku touchdown was solid, but there's just nothing there. I don't care if it's Judkins, Sampson, whoever. I mean, yes, this was one of the toughest matchups, but we even said this in the Dolphins game where Judkins had 88 yards and 45 were on one carry, and he had 20 some carries. And it's just like, defenses are just going to stack the box of Dylan Gabriel if this is all he can do.
Yeah, and that's exactly why Judkins is going to have every game a 70-yard run that everybody loves.
Yeah,
because
it's the only way he's going to get there.
Yeah, and he's going to have a low yards per carry with a gigantic run every week, is what's going to happen.
Yeah,
which is great because that's better than a bunch of yards but no touchdowns. At least that's going to force him a touchdown every week. Like I'm here for it. I have enough Judkins. I'm happy with that. Yeah, but both Njoku and Fannin get there, honestly.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see Njoku traded during the bye.
That because is the trade deadline the 2nd?
I think so.
Yeah, let me look it up real quick. I think it is the 2nd this year. Tuesday, November 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, because all the league stuff is weirdly on a Tuesday, right? It's always a Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern or whatever, except for free agency, which starts at noon, but has a 6-year tamper period. There's something now. I don't know. It's something wild. All right. Moving on to the game neither one of us want to talk about. The New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This was a bad day for both of us. Very bad for both of our best ball bags.
Yeah.
I'm at 25%. So I'm at 24, 28, and 26% Scatterboo between my 3 contests, basically. That's early, sprint, and post.
Yeah. So I'm on Underdog. I'm roughly in those same areas, though I'm more in Superflex and also things like rookie sophomore. I just had a massive exposure to them.
I had 28% in
yeah, I think that's where I had it was 28 or 30%, and then on Drafters and DraftKings you can't figure it out now, but Drafters I was at almost 40%. I was at 36%.
Yeah, because he was going so much later over there.
He's going so much later, and he's to me, like we saw today, he catches the ball. His touchdown. Let's talk about the good before the bad.
Well, I do want to. I don't know. I want to get it out of the way. Okay. So somebody in my Discord mentioned he's like, when it happened, said the way he runs is I expected him to get hurt. It's well, that is true, but this play had nothing to do with him being that way. This was a play that anybody could have got hurt on. It's just bad luck. And I'm not arguing that his running style probably will produce a couple more injuries than normal. That is perfect. That is a valid argument, and was a valid argument going in. But let's be honest. He's given us 7 usable weeks.
Yeah.
As a 10th round pick. That's more usable weeks than you expect from a 10th round pick. It sucks for the future because not having somebody just having a dead spot for the playoffs sucks. Yeah. But he's a big Pacheco, but he's a better pass. He's a way better pass catcher. And that was the whole thing with him. The weird thing is Pacheco's a 4-3 guy, weirdly. Yeah. But he doesn't it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. No, and the thing, you're saying, his running style, yes, we see bigger backs, the 2 backs that I comped into, David Montgomery and James Conner, they get banged up every year, but usually it's they miss a game, they miss 3 games, something like that. You know, Connor obviously went down with the season long, but again, nothing with the way he ran. That was like a weird foot thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing here. Like, this is nothing about the way he runs. Usually we're running the risk of these guys, like, because they're putting their head down, getting the tougher yards, more likely for a concussion, or like because they're in big piles, like they get their ankle tweaked or something like that. And it's like a high ankle sprain that costs them like 3 or 4 games. But it's not, again, this had nothing to do with that.
Right. Yeah, and so when he went out, it became Tyron Tracy a little bit, and Devin Singletary came in a little bit. I
Yeah.
honestly do think it'll become more of a split after this week, and I think Singletary will get I think it'll be like a 60-40 with Singletary being the lesser, or 65-35. I don't think it's going to become a full Tyrone Tracy backfield, and I think that was
No.
proven when they spent that early 4th round pick on Cam Scadaboo, that they did not want him to be the feature back.
No, I agree. And Tracy's been back a couple weeks now, and he had the widest open touchdown run against Denver, but other than that, he's not like really run the ball well. And they'd still been mixing in Singletary a little bit even in those games. So yeah, I agree. I think it will be probably like 60-40. And Tracy will have some usable weeks for sure, but and maybe a spike week. But like you said, like Scadaboo, 7 of 8 usable weeks, 2 20+, including a 30-point game. It's pretty damn good for where he was going.
And I got him in the 12th a couple times, because he really, like, whenever that injury happened, because you and I were taking him at the 8-9, like the early 9th round over and over again.
Yeah.
And then I was forcing myself not to take him every draft.
Me too.
Like, because of this exact outcome.
Yeah.
It was never is it going to work? It was and don't get me wrong. I've been wrong on those. It's definitely going to work, guys. But we'll get to one of those on this other side right here with Will Shipley. We'll talk about that. But so Jackson Dart once again looked pretty fine. The Eagles' run defense did look a lot better with Carter out there. We kind of expected that. Darius Slayton looked very good. He caught a very long touchdown pass that was called back.
Such a bad call.
Bad call. It should have been he should have had 80 yards and a touchdown in this game.
Yeah.
Because I think it was a 50-yarder, wasn't it? It was
it was at least 40, and I think it was 50+.
I think it was 50+. I can't remember. I know he caught the ball like the 12 or something, and then walked in the last 12 or whatever, and Dart threw it pretty far. Like, it looked like he definitely Howlerstered that thing in there, or cannoned it, just as far as he could. That was the push-off call, right? Yeah.
Which was so weak.
It was, because before the push-off, so the defender was behind him and ran straight into him down the field. And then he pushed off a little bit. Then the defender also ran into him again, full body into him. So he pushed him off again, and that's what got called. It's like, what?
Yeah, it was.
Well, how is that not illegal contact as well? It's at least illegal contact on top of that. If you're going to call the one, the other one needs to be called as well.
Yeah. Yeah. The refs had a rough time the refs had a rough time in this game with that tush push blown call also.
Yeah. They did. But and don't get me wrong. I think the hand fighting and stuff should all be allowed. I'm not saying that I want that to be an illegal contact penalty, but if it's going to be a push off in that situation where the defender's allowed to be all over you, I think that one needs to be a no call.
And it wasn't like a clear, you watch any game and you could find 5 worse push-offs in any single game.
Yeah.
And they just called this. It was very weird.
And we seen one in the Ravens game.
Oh my God, yeah, that Hopkins one.
That I stand by this. Like, you cannot go back and watch any elite catch that he's ever made and not see him push off.
As soon as he made that catch, I thought of you, and then because I'd watched the Giants game first, and then I thought, how is that not a push off?
Yeah, it's like, right. Yeah, like it's I just like, and maybe it's a little bit of haterade on my part, but I'm still waiting to be shown like a bunch of plays of his that aren't that way. Like
Yeah.
like when he makes the one-handed catches that everybody loves. Like
Mhm.
he does have plays without him, but like anyway, on to the game. We'll go to the Eagle side. I should have had a really good advance rate week and all that, but I did not because Saquon Barkley had a monster week, and apparently, like all of my Rice teams were kind of already advancing. So I'm not getting a big boost from the Rice stuff, but I'm super happy that I have Rice teams
Yeah, like
advancing.
he's helping
Right?
you.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not upset about that. But like I should be getting a bigger boost, I would think. I am getting a lot more closer though. I think by the end of the season I'll be around the field at advancing, which with having all the Addison, Rice, and Mooney, I'll feel pretty good about.
Yeah.
But Saquon, man, he got blocks,
Yeah.
and it looked really a lot like last year, right?
Mhm.
So speaking of that specifically, like if we go to over here to fancy points real quick, and this is running backs, points per game. The Giants are down here, but if we go by yards per carry, the New York Giants
Yeah, this thing didn't look
6.12. The next worst is 5.27.
Yeah.
Like that is they're still the worst if you remove that long run,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
That is really bad.
It's interesting because like I even think like some of their other games, it's not like the Chiefs had big runs against them,
No.
not like the Saints did. Um, you know, yeah, that's I wouldn't have thought that. Broncos, Dobbins had a couple, but not a ton. So
Yeah. You're welcome, Pepperoni. I gotta have a brand. I have to. I'm building a brand. Leave me alone. Yeah. So Tank Bigsby looked really good when he came in as well, which is like Will Shipley. I've never seen such a small injury kill somebody so hard
yeah.
because he was out for 4 weeks or whatever, but they traded for somebody and just replaced him, and they were
Mhm.
using him in the first half of the first game.
Yeah.
He was part of their plan.
Oh, I mean,
Like,
remember when we were talking preseason, it was like he played the first game, looked great, and then they sat him with the starters the rest of the
yeah,
preseason.
yeah. Like, I honestly want him to get traded. Like,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. I want Shipley traded. The Cardinals would love to have him.
There's a few teams that would definitely love to have him.
Cam injury killed a team. We're fine. The team that Schuster and I drafted the sprint, we're sitting in fourth or fifth. Like we're like 30 points away from advancing, but it's a sprint team, so it's more about how many points we get.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and like no, he does that, but the ones I'm talking about are like full arm extensions.
Clear. Like you look at his catch in that Ravens game, and I think it was a big third down. A good catch, but it was full extension, full
like the classic one where he's in the left side of the end zone where he jumps up and he one hands the ball like this and he comes down and toe taps. His arm is fully extended and his hands is in the face of the defender. It's not even like it's like not even like a regular push off. It's also hands to the face. Like And they just never show the rest of it because they can't. Right? Like they just can't ruin the good plays because those are the memorable plays. So Dallas Goddard, I could talk negatively about him for a long time. So, and not only that, but he comes to Kansas like, and I said this last year, and this is how much of a hater I am. Like, I do not want Nick Sirianni to ever win a Super Bowl, but I also don't want DeAndre Hopkins to. So, like, it was kind of a win-win as a Chiefs fan. So there I said it. And he came there and did nothing for us. So I'm glad. We've won enough. I'm fine with it. But yeah, Dallas Goddard, man, he looks really good. He's going to be one of the better picks in the league or in best ball and for redraft. If you do redraft stuff, like he's such a good pick.
Yeah, no, and this was a game.
It feels pretty bad right now because I have a bunch of Bowers and McBride.
I mean, McBride's been okay, for it, but it's just, and this is what I talked about. I don't know if you caught what I said in the show is the answer was running back. Yes, there's a receiver here or there, but running backs are just absolutely killing wide receivers. Jonathan Taylor has as many 30-point games as all the wide receivers this season.
And that has not been like 2 years ago. That was not the truth, and last year that was the truth, though. I'm just wondering what second round, because Jonathan Taylor, we're not getting him in the second next year.
No, he's 1-1. I mean,
I still think people will put Jamar Chase 1-1, but I don't like. I just think that's what'll happen because it's what could have been kind of thing with Joe Burrow. But I mean, I think it should be like it doesn't matter between those players. It's whichever one's there. I'm taking them. Yeah. Like I want my exposure to both those players, but like it should be Taylor, and Bijan was going to be in that argument, but it's pretty hard to trust anything going on over there.
Yeah, we'll have to see what how the year ends out. But the other thing, like last year, even though it was a running back year, if you look at total 30-point games and 20-point games, they're very even between running back, wide receiver. The difference is, of course, there's more wide receivers. You'd expect more. This year, running backs are, no pun intended, running away with those categories.
Oh yeah. So Hawk here says not a Goddard guy, but he's dropped on the trade rumors. Yeah, because I was actually happy taking Goddard before Kelsey, like the whole time, and then the trade rumor stuff happened, and I just kind of like just still took him at field after that. Like I was like I don't want to get got, but yeah, and I couldn't imagine passing on JT in any circumstance. I'm kind of getting there. Like I think he's gotten to the CMC from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like in every situation and matchup proof, I think that after that, what Miami just did, like the Miami Bijan stuff, like I think in every format, no matter what, you just take JT 101. And if somebody wants to give you another person for matchup at 102, like you just take every share of JT you can get, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like I think we're there. Yeah, so he was a healthy scratch. I thought so. Because I think that's 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
And like they literally like Tyler Goodson and then they signed Amir Abdullah. Like it is so not good. We're not even to that game. We'll get to that game.
The other thing I want to mention is with the Eagles, I mean, Smith had a good game. Dane has a touchdown. But Barkley, who stopped playing in the third quarter because he got banged up, he was the number 2 receiver. He was clearly heavily involved. And yeah, I will say if he doesn't get injured, he has the JT, he would have probably been RB1 on the week. And because he was just on an incredible pace.
I mean, same thing with did you guys hear that?
No.
Okay, good. He I can't ever tell if it's coming from my computer or my headset at times. I mean, James Cook would have had an argument there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the running back weeks were wild this week.
Oh
Like
yeah.
just wild. Like James Cook, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, not even the second best running back on the slate. Like what is this? Oh,
Yeah.
what? Like because he was third, right?
Um.
Or was
Let me
Saquon third?
let me see.
Or no, because it was Brees, then JT, then him. Like Saquon was fourth. Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns and was like sixth.
Yeah, it was JT. This is fantasy points, half point PPR. They're slightly different, but I think fumbles is the only change. So it was JT 36.4, Cook 33.6, Hall 31.9, Saquon 31.4, and then Chase Brown 24 was top 5.
Okay. Yeah, so the top 3 were gigantic, and then the
Yeah.
fourth was pretty far down. And then like there's a couple people down there. And like Chase Brown could have been up there if he would have got that P. Ryan touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
all right, so we will move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. And go ahead.
Yeah, I mean this one dominating game, but it was more defensive effort. The Tampa offense, I thought this was going to be their get right game.
Me too.
I do want to give the Saints a lot of credit. Their defense played really well, not just the goal line stops, but they got way more pressure on Baker than I thought they would.
Yeah.
Worse actually had a pretty rough game, and
Yeah, and it was a rookie out there or something, wasn't it?
it was. Well, I think it was a combo of guys who was getting them, but
No, that was the Falcons game or the Falcons guy. I think was getting got by a rookie.
yeah.
So Rashad White, 55% snaps, real quick. Like we'll go through that because this actually matters. Sean Tucker, 34%, but they were seeming to use Tucker in a lot of like big situations. It felt like. I thought Rashad White would have more, like more of a lock hold on this because like the last 2 weeks, for 2 weeks he looked really good, and then last week he looked fine but not elite. And then this week they're like, okay, looks like we're gonna play Sean Tucker a lot more. And then they had that drive to where Sean Tucker failed the 1-yard run. Then they ran the same exact play with Rashad White 3 times in a row, and it failed.
Yeah, no, that was very frustrating. Like obviously White was more involved in the passing game, not just the 2 catches, but he ran more routes. But yeah, Tucker is essentially even split of carries. And some of that is game script. I do think White is going to retain a bigger, still kind of the role that he had before the Bucky injury. But it was disappointing because the Saints, this was the good matchup. White's been going against teams like Seattle, teams like San Francisco, who can't rush the passer, but their run defense is still okay, especially that game, but it's, and then of course last week against the Lions, but this game, Tampa needs to figure some stuff out because I don't know if Mbuka is still dealing with an injury, but him and Baker were just off this game.
Well, like he had the one that should have been that long touchdown catch that like they'd been money on all season.
Yeah, I know.
And it hit him in the hands, and the defender just happened to get his hands in there and like wrestled away this time. And that's the difference between him having 80 yards and a touchdown, which has been what he's been doing, and not. That defender just played really tough. This game specifically was one I kind of targeted in BRs, and I got dominated in BR this week. I got like a 25% back or something. Like it was bad.
Yeah, I didn't play a ton, but I in both BRs and DraftKings, like I was like, some Buccaneers player is going to get there, whether it's White, whether it's Mbuka, whether it's Otten, Tez Johnson. Like I was like, somebody's going to get there, and just nobody did. So it was bad. And many
that's
times
that's kind of where I was at. I was like, somebody's going to. I was, like, I finally bought into Olave a little bit. I still mixed in Shaheed because I think Shaheed's honestly just a better player. Still, so, but yeah, I misread this game a lot. New Orleans, their defense absolutely tried as hard as they possibly could the whole game, and they made it rough. They made it really rough.
Yeah. I think it was just so shocking after we saw what the Bears just run right through. And that's why I thought it was going to be White, because Bears just ran all over them.
I kind of thought it was going to be White as well. And Chad, do we have any idea on when Bucky's back? I got the feeling, based on what they were saying last week, that he would have played if the bye wasn't the next week. Basically, like, they didn't want to kind of chance it, and that he should be good after that. But I think they were basically like, no, like, if it wasn't a upcoming bye week, they would have had to put him out at some point anyway, and probably put him out this past week. But it was also the Saints. They weren't going to come out and say, well, it's the Saints. But they kind of, like, in my opinion, that's what they came out and said. Hey, well, it's the Saints. How could we lose to this game? But yeah.
No, I did. I don't know if I heard it that optimistically, but I heard the expectation is after the bye, they think he should be fine.
Yeah. And yeah, Mikey boy, injuries are wild this year.
Yeah.
And you were kind of talking earlier about it's always running back, but like, so wide receiver, they're literally like all the way down the board. It's just hard to find one this year. Like, they just, I haven't looked at what the average points are, but like we talked before, how the 15-point threshold last year basically doubled the running backs got there than wide receivers. Yeah. I'm going to guess it's even more this year. I'm going to guess that there's only like, probably three wide receivers or something that are at that point.
Let me look real quick. Now, obviously averages can be a little skewed because, if you play one game and get 20 points.
Right. And like Rice is averaging 22.
Yeah, like Rice is like number 2 among receivers. And maybe he will end up there, but probably more likely than not, he's not, but let's see. So right now, in terms of averaging per game, which none of these, I mean, Bucky's in this and he's missed half the time. But there's 9 running backs with 15 or more points, including 2 guys over 20, JT and McCaffrey. And let's look at receiver, because like Neighbors is going to pop in this, but obviously he's, so there are 6 receivers, and that includes Rice. Doesn't include Neighbors, actually. But,
so who are they?
Rashee Rice is technically number 1 with your average of 20.4. JSN 18.6, tied with Puka for number 2. Then Amon-Ra 17.4, Chase 17, Pickens 15.8.
So it's pretty much all first rounders. Like, there's JSN and Pickens, and then it's just first rounders.
Yeah.
I mean, because let's be honest, Rice is a 1-2 turn pick. If he's fully cleared, definitely playing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say Rashee Rice finishes at 17 points a game this year. Where does he go next year? 7, 8, 9?
Yeah, back half of the first round.
Yeah, he goes down there where Nico and all those are going, right? So, like he's essentially, and I think he would have been somewhat, not necessarily there, but I think he would have been around the BTJ Amon-Ra area this year if he was a full go. Hey, Deontay Johnson trying out for the Giants.
Oh boy, that's what they need.
That is exactly what they need. So as bad of a game as this was, the Saints did actually finally turn to Tyler Shough.
Yeah.
I don't think he looked that bad.
Yeah,
I don't think he looked good, but I don't. It's his first start. Um, he he definitely missed Shaheed on a wide open touchdown. Like,
oh yeah,
oh, and like Shaheed should have had another 150 in one game.
oh he could have had a huge game.
Like, because that was like a 60-yarder, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
no, it was
it
like a
was.
40. It was like a 40-yarder
Yeah,
actually.
but
But
there was
like,
another one that Rattler missed Shaheed earlier. Like she could have had a monster.
yeah. But he ended up getting just as many targets as Olave.
Mm-hmm.
Jawan Johnson getting a bunch of targets again. Taysom Hill come in for 2 carries and 1 target. Bree Shaheed, Bree 22. Um, yeah, so an interesting fact that isn't related to this game about the Saints, but related to the Saints. Do you know what their weeks 13? So week 13 they play. I think it's the Titans. So
Okay.
basically, they play the Titans, the Jets, and the other worst team in the league. Uh, who's the other? Who's the next worst team in the NFC? Let me just bring it up. Uh,
Cardinals? No, they already played the Cardinals. Um,
so so let's just bring it up real quick. But it's like every game that's going to be like, okay, that's what it is. Saints Dolphins,
ah,
November 30th, Thanksgiving weekend, and then you get Saints Panthers, Saints Jets, and Saints Titans. Like the
wow.
Panthers, probably not. So like you got Jets, you got Titans back to back, and you got Dolphins 2 games before that. So like the draft runs through the New Orleans Saints this year. Like you got the Saints here, you got you got the Dolphins, you got the Jets, and then you got the Titans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I feel like those games could just be like
yeah, yeah,
literally handing it to each other like hot potato. Like,
yeah. They like. I think that Mike McDaniel will try to win that game just to hose them for him still having to be the coach.
well, and I mean, I think
I'll be for the
like
rest of
Kellen
his
Moore's job's safe. Titans
right.
are getting a new coach anyways. So it's like Mike McDaniel, he's coaching for, like you don't want to put bad tape out there. So
Right.
yeah, I agree. He's probably the one who's coaching for it the most.
Right. Oh yeah, and it's the Rams this week. That's not going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I'm hoping with Tyler Shuck, we start to see both the receivers get a little bit more, successful games. Because it's like the targets are there. It's just this is 2 weeks ago we saw Olave with the 2 touchdown game, but this is what we typically see, like 7-8 catches, 60 to 80 yards. It's like, okay, that's usable, but it's nothing special. Hopefully going forward we see some like good games. And same with Kamara. I thought it was interesting. Neal had some catches, but no runs in this game.
Well,
Um,
didn't Kamara got hurt too, right?
but he came back in, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But he did miss a little time.
All right. So yeah, I'm just happy that they finally are turning over to Shuck. Like
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think Rattler played better than he played better than I expected for sure.
He definitely played better than I expected, but it was just he was capped. It's honestly kind of like, Dylan Gabriel. Like you can only do so much with this guy.
Yeah, and like Spencer Rattler proved to me that as a lifetime backup, he's
Yeah.
probably fine. Like if you need somebody to come in to play 2 or 3 games
Mm-hmm.
to rest Jaden Daniels because he ran straight into a bunch of defenders again, like you're probably not happy about it, but at least it's not Andy Dalton, right?
Oh my.
So because that was bad. But But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that game. We ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right, we got the Dallas Cowboys versus the Denver Broncos. What did you see with the old Cowboys?
Yeah, I mean, looking from the snap side of things, you know, I think maybe the most shocking thing was actually the lack of snaps for Jake Ferguson. Um, Now, some of it, like the last two drives with Milton, he wasn't out there, but neither were Pickens and Lamb. So it's slightly skewed there. I think Javonte Williams, it's his backfield. It wasn't just because it was a revenge game and then Blue did not have a good game. He fumbled, right?
Right.
And Dak, like, I mean, he moved. They were able to move the ball sometimes, but just a couple bad turnovers from him, from Blue. They just couldn't. There's something missing. It and it was interesting because Surtain missed a lot of time in this game.
Yeah.
They couldn't exploit that. I thought they would be able to exploit that more. Some of it was the Broncos pass rush. A lot of it, I think, was game script. Like Broncos just kept scoring, and the Cowboys defense is really bad. And most games, Dak is able to keep pace, even against some tough defenses, like say the Packers. But this game, they couldn't. And I think the other interesting thing was like I said, the tight end usage, because we saw more Schoonmaker and Spanford out there, even with Dak, and then like more Flournoy than I thought we'd see. With Turpin like fully back and healthy.
Yeah. I think that they kind of found something they like with Flournoy because he's a different body style than Turpin, right? Like he's a bigger slot. Because I think he like 6'3" or something. He's like pretty tall.
Yeah, he's over 6 foot. I don't know if he's 6'3", but yeah.
Yeah, I think he's pretty. Yeah, I know he's pretty tall. And Turpin is definitely not very tall.
He's the opposite of that.
He is not tall. Jaden Blue gets in there, gets some chances, and gets a fumble. We'll see if he continues to get touches or not.
Yeah, I wonder if, and this is another one, like long of 14, only 29 total yards. And we've, just his other games, he's not looked good. And also for a guy who came in with being this passing down back, he's gotten like 0 chances in that department so far this year. And I honestly wonder, and I know the Cowboys are like teetering whether they're a playoff team or not, but I think they should go for it. And I think that's just Jerry's mentality. Like he's going to go for it. I feel like this is a team, not that they have to go get like Breece Hall, but another team that should be like calling on a Jerome Ford or some other, like, not that the Eagles will trade him Will Shipley, but how fun would it be to have Will Shipley there?
Yeah, you could probably get Jerome Ford for a 6th round, 7th round pick. Like just for something.
Yeah.
And if you're a fringe playoff team,
why not? I mean, yeah. So,
something I want to loop back to the Giants real quick, and discuss something that I meant to discuss there and I forgot. So, do you think with the trajectory that happened and with Scadaboo plus Neighbors being out, that Dable is guaranteed his job? Because I think, in my opinion, I feel like Dart is working out. Dart is responsive to him. Scadaboo was really good. They were competitive even without Neighbors.
Yeah.
And they've already been pretty lenient on letting him stay around. Like, I feel like they're gonna look at it and be like, I think we trust that you're the guy still.
So I think it depends. Like Dart has to continue to do this. And I think they need definitely a couple more wins would help, but the losses have to be honestly more like the Denver game and not like this, where they're just getting blown out by division rival,
Yeah.
So, that's what I think he's got a real chance to keep his job is the way I'll put it. But I don't think it's like a lock.
Yeah. All right, and let's answer Flyfish's question. What upside does Shuck offer? Like, and he's older and than Rattler and was worse in the NCAA. I mean, to me, it's less about what Rattler offers or what Shuck offers, and more about making sure neither one of them are the guys that they can move on. Like, I
Yeah. Like
I think that they just want to, like, you can't draft Shuck in the second round, not put him out there, and then also draft a quarterback next year.
Yeah.
Like that's my theory. Like they messed up. Like in my opinion, they messed up by taking Shuck in the second round in the first place. When Jack, like they could have just traded up and taken Jackson Dart, who I thought was like close or if not better than Cam Ward going into the draft. Like I liked him a lot more.
Yeah.
I like Milrow more than like Shuck as well. Like especially on a team like them. That needed just some explosion. Like I think it would have made sense, but like I don't understand the Shuck pick at all. But I do think that they have to just try it to see what they have.
Yeah, it's the same with the Browns trying Shador Sanders. Like,
Right, exactly.
yes, he very well could be better than Dylan Gabriel, but the chance that he's your future is minimal. And they invested more. And I do think Shuck has a better arm than Rattler. Like Rattler's arm is not that impressive to me. So, whether he can put it all together or not, he sees some ghosts out there. He, can be late with throws, but just natural arm talent, I think, is better than Rattler. But that doesn't always mean anything. I mean, Joe Milton is one of the best arms in all football. He's not really good at football.
Yeah, and I think Davis Mills 2.0 is like the exact comparison. like I can't not argue with that. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with a game manager, but that's not what you want for a starting quarterback. That's what you want for a backup.
Yeah.
All right, so back to this game. So I didn't honestly feel like Pickens had 78 yards and Lamb had 74 watching the game. It did not feel like they were that successful.
Yeah.
Like it really didn't.
No, and the other thing, give particularly Lamb, because he got lost a couple times, they drew a lot of penalties. They must have drawn 3 or 4 penalties between them. And that was also why like the yardage wasn't as high as it could have been. They probably honestly both could have had 100-yard games, but they both drew multiple penalties. Well, I know Pickens drew 1. I think Lamb drew 3. I could be wrong on that, but
I'm looking for total penalties here. That's first half.
Yeah, usually if you just scroll down from that, I think. But
I'll find it. There we go. So 9 for 80 for the Cowboys, 7 for 42 on the Broncos.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I do remember they drew several penalties, which the Broncos secondary, like part of being a good secondary is you will get some penalties because you're going to be more physical. And like you're just gonna like because KC forever was very like everybody hated it because we never got calls, but like if you just play aggressive all the time, they're just gonna it feels like the refs are just gonna be like, okay, well that's how the game's gonna be played, instead of the refs enforcing how the game's gonna be played. More often than not, the refs will be conducive to whatever the teams are doing versus what the actual rules are. Like, and that's just like maybe, and it just feels that way. And like, that's why the good defensive teams, like, you just see the people all over the wide receivers over and over again, and nothing's ever called because that's just the style that's been played the whole game. And it's not like for some reason they don't call it the same. And if it's a game that it's a bad defense that like isn't around the defenders playing a bunch of cover and never play man, like, they're not going to call it as often. But you're also going to get more calls because you have your hands on them more as well. But it's just, they're just not going to call it every time.
No, for sure. And that's also something with top end receivers. They get more calls, because one, they're doing more to fight to get open and stuff like that. But two, like, I do think, and this is the other thing, going back to like the Slayton versus Hopkins thing. One is Darius Slayton and the other is DeAndre Hopkins, regardless of who thinks of him, he's in like a Hall of Fame career type.
I mean, receiver. I don't doubt that, but
yeah, but it's like that's why Slayton gets called for it, but Hopkins doesn't. Elite players get away with stuff. We see it offensive linemen, we see it defensive linemen, all the time.
I mean, it's in every sport, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's just in every sport.
But no, Pickens, just back to this, like Pickens and Lamb, they look good. It was just like they couldn't finish drives. And the couple they did was Javonte just rushing in short yardage. Which was like one was because of a penalty in the end zone on Lamb,
and one of them, Lamb, caught the ball and got to the 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Pickens, I don't know. Like I think it was going into week 3. Like Pickens had more yards and PIs than the rest of the league combined, or something.
Yeah,
in yardage, it was wild. On to the Broncos. Bo Nix does it again. Like he had a second huge game. Like he really struggled the first few weeks, and we kind of talked about this, or at least I did, to where like he started very, very slow last year too.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if it's just, like, it made sense last year, but I was like, I wonder if it's just how he is. And it kind of feels like maybe that's what's going to happen every year. And I mean, the Bengals have done this for years, right? Like they just start slow. The thing is that this team actually has a defense, so they can still win games while they're starting slow.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing from starting slow this year is they really only brought back Sutton, Franklin, and Mims, like new tight ends, two new running backs, Pat Bryant and Sherfield, who gets worked in there. So they're, and then even with that, like, Ingram got injured early, missed a game. So there was some of that that probably contributed to the slow start of just getting on the same page with a bunch of new guys.
Right. And like I said, I actually got on the Bash randomizer thing this past week, and I was talking about Troy Franklin. I'm like, I think he's going to start getting less volume because Bryant had been getting more volume. And Bryant did get some more looks, but it didn't matter because Franklin absolutely dominated this game.
Yeah.
Like Cortland Sutton also dropped his touchdown. Like he had one. He dropped it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you also heard, they said on the broadcast, Tony Romo said that Dallas had a game plan to take Sutton out. Because Sutton only had one catch in the first half.
That was what Romo said.
Yeah. But it made sense because like the ball wasn't going his way, Yeah. And also, Mims got injured. That contributed. But Bo Nix had a really good game. And also RJ Harvey. I mean, man, like 3 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah.
So Broncos ran extremely well. I mean, Cowboys' run defense is so atrocious.
Like I have to stay consistent. I don't want to, but like, let's remove RJ Harvey's long hair.
Oh yeah,
6 for 6 yards.
Yeah, I mean one this was a goal line carry,
And this is against the Cowboys, who I get it. One was a goal line carry, but like that's still 5 for 5 yards, right? Yeah. It's pretty low sample, but this is the Cowboys defense who's not good against, like, they were by far the worst against the run. That was quarterbacks they were worst against. I want to see Harvey, and I mean, you can do the whole take away the top run thing, like I like to do, and look at it, but that is part of the game still, right? Like
Yeah,
it's still like it's not like a guaranteed science, but like, and he did get the stuff. Like they did sub him into the goal line quite a bit though, right?
yeah, yeah. He got the receiving touchdown near the goal line also.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. He got the receiving touchdown there. They subbed him in once to give him the running touchdown,
The direct
and
snap.
then
Yeah.
and then he had the big one. So like I think that they're just using him in the red zone, which is weird. Like when you Dobbins is there, like it doesn't make sense. Like I don't really remember seeing Dobbins getting very many carries at the goal line in the game.
No, no. I mean, part multiple of their touchdowns were outside the goal line, but the Pat Bryant
Yeah,
one or outside the red zone. But no, I don't know. I feel like the Broncos are just trying to figure out how to utilize Harvey in this game. They were just like, okay, we'll get a little more creative with them.
yeah,
That's good, but yeah, he's going to live and die by these like explosive plays. Games where he has it, he can pop for you. Yeah, like he's a best ball running back.
he
That's what
is.
it boils down to.
By the way, Pat Bryant. I have to do my weekly Bryant update, being the Pat Bryant guy. Bo Nix, I think it was the first pass of the game. Threw it about 5 yards behind Pat Bryant when he was open on a slant directly to the defender.
Oh, the interception, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was to
like
Pat Bryant.
that was to Pat Bryant. Well, no,
Yeah,
it wasn't. It was to the
well,
defender. It was like not even close to Pat Bryant. Bryant was open. Like
yeah,
I don't know why Bo Nix can't throw this slant route to Pat Bryant. Like, but he's struggling with the slant route to everybody, and that was like his bread and butter last year. I think
yeah,
like if when that gets going, I think this offense is going to be very scary because that slant route is actually going to open up the stuff we need for RJ Harvey to also be explosive because because that's the level of defense that like that's going to hold the linebacker to allow the explosive RJ Harvey runs, and a lot of that's going to be uh, uh, the RPOs, right? Because the slant is generally an RPO option, right? And so if the linebacker doesn't shade over there, the Sutton or the Bryant is going to kill them on the slant or the Ingram. And if
yeah,
they do shade over there, they're just going to continue to run the ball. And that's when the explosive plays will go there. But we need Bo Nix to be accurate on those throws first. Uh, but like he looked a lot better this week though. Like he
mhm.
missed that one, like he missed another throw or two, but like that one was really bad.
Yeah. No, I mean he missed a couple for sure.
Everybody's gonna miss a throw or two
Yeah,
every game though. Like
but it was definitely Bo Nix. It's been what 3 of the last 4 weeks outside the Jets game in London. He's been really good. The Bengals game, and then last week in the come. And granted, it was like all fourth quarter, but in the comeback versus the Giants, and then this game. So he's starting to produce for us fantasy wise, and that's good to see.
yeah, it feels really, really good. All right, so we're gonna move on to the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. Go ahead and start with the fantastic Titans there.
Oh boy. Yeah. What can you say about the Titans? They I I have nothing nice to say about the Titans.
So I have something I say. Gunnar Helm looks fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this probably was one of Cam Ward's better starting games. Like it took him it like he didn't throw a bunch of picks, right? Uh like DK really is coming along pretty
Yeah.
well.
DK, I will say, like DK is, I think, clearly becoming the top guy. He is a weapon. The Gunnar Helm thing, and I've actually heard Okonkwo's name mentioned in trade rumors.
Me too.
because like Okonkwo is still pretty solid. Like he's pretty good, but it's like Gunnar Helm, I think, is looking to be the future there. So I would probably trade Okonkwo, even though he's young himself, and just kind of go with these three rookies: DK, Manor, who's much more inconsistent, and Gunnar Helm. If I'm them, I trade Pollard as well. I'd trade anything not tied down. If Ridley can come back and be traded, I'd trade him as well. It's just bad. I mean, like you said, this is one of Cam Ward's better games, but it's against a Colts secondary that is getting shredded week in, week out. You know, got shredded by Brissett, got killed by Herbert. Still threw an interception, still took 4 sacks. Just couldn't move the ball. And some of it is the game plan, some of it is him, some of it is, they actually ran the ball pretty well. I mean, both Pollard and Spears.
Spears had a really good game, actually.
Yeah.
Because Spears got, 17 points? 6, 12, and then
like 16 and a half.
16 and a half, yeah. 16 and a half points and half PPR. I noticed that, because I have a lot of Spears. I had 10% Pollard, but 15% Spears. So I would love for Spears to be the guy. And if Tony Pollard gets traded, and why would you not?
Yeah.
If there's a team that wants Tony Pollard, Tony Pollard to Dallas would make a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't think that they really left on bad terms. Jerry Jones wasn't out there saying that they prefer Javonte Williams over him. So
yeah.
It was just because Pollard went somewhere and got some money, right?
Yeah.
But I think Pollard back to Dallas would be that'd be the perfect thing, because his contract is up after this year, right?
I think, or there might be one more year, but no guaranteed money tied to it, something like that.
And if the Titans could get a 5th round pick for Pollard, I don't know if the Cowboys even a 6th,
oh yeah,
why not? Why not?
Honestly, anything at this point, you just need to stack draft picks, and also you save, even whether there's money tied to next year or not. You save money the rest of this year, and then that money can be applied forward to the cap. So if it's another $2 million he's owed for the rest of the year, that's $2 more million you have next year.
Yeah. So I think that Pollard is a guy who isn't being talked about as a trade candidate, but I could see it because they didn't they were using Julius Chestnut and Khalil Mullins early in the season, and both of them looked serviceable. For as bad as that offensive line it is, and is proven to be now, I don't think you could really take it out on them. And Spears is the exact kind of player you would want behind one of those two guys, more so than Pollard, right? Pollard can do everything, but Spears is definitely a little more lightning, and the other two are definitely thunder. And Pollard kind of a middle ground guy, but Chestnut and Mullins are both absolute power, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that you could have the same kind of dichotomy with Spears and the other two, and just get rid of him, and then you need some draft pick. You need a better roster.
Yeah, excuse me. Get the most you can get. They just traded Roger McCreary to the Rams, and most of these trades are going to be Pollard in a 7th for a 6th rounder. Do it. I don't care if you get all day 3 picks. This team is so bad. Like I said, any money you save is just more money you can apply to rebuilding this team next year.
Yeah. I hope Pollard gets traded. There are a lot of teams, the Arizona Cardinals should absolutely be asking about it. He would be perfect for the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he would need that much time to go in. Then we would get also 18 weeks of Tony Pollard.
We'd also get Tony Pollard week 17 against the Bengals.
Oh man, could you imagine backdooring into that?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That would be the bet. Or Brees backdoor Brees into the Bengals the second time after he just put up 30. Like that would be so good. The Nagy Tennessee head coach rumors are pretty bearish. Oh man, I will be so out on all of Tennessee next year if Matt Nagy is their head coach.
That would be the
Like,
worst.
like I don't know what 80. Like, I will have like 3 to 4% of every one of them.
Yeah.
Assuming that, like, if like DK is still like a 15th round pick, I'll be into him. But like, he won't be. He'll be in the
be like
Bateman range next year.
Yeah.
Huh? He'll be in the 12th round.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. All right. So we have the Indianapolis Colts. As everyone just decided last week, the term wagon applies to the Indianapolis Colts. Healthy scratch for DJ Giddens. You got Amir Abdullah and Tyler Goodson in here. We even got a Riley Leonard sighting. Congratulations, Riley Leonard. You got to play in the NFL again because you're on a team that is so good that they don't need to actually play their starters.
And Anthony Richardson hurts himself warming up.
Yeah. So like I had the thought, like, you know how you have thoughts and you're like, I should definitely change this, and then you don't change it, and your thought was absolutely right, and then you're like, yeah, that it made too much sense. Like when Jeffrey Simmons was ruled out,
Yeah.
I was like, I should probably move JT to 1 and just take him every time over Bijan. And I wish I would have. Like it just made too much sense. But if the Atlanta matchup wasn't Miami, if it was literally anyone else other than Miami or Cincinnati, I would have done
Dallas.
I think even Dallas I would have. Because at least Dallas would have like put up, like, we knew they were going to put up a bunch of points and they might have got out of the run game script. Like, and there was no way, and the Colts just don't not run Taylor. Yeah. He had 153 yards on 12 carries.
Yeah. Excuse me. Like, that was the thing. He actually had his lowest volume, his lowest usage in this game in terms of like touches, because he's had at least 19 touches in every other game. And, you know, he only has 14 in this game and just absolutely smashes.
The place to be. Welcome to the Who Crew, by the way. Hope if anybody's watching for the first time, by the way, please smash the like and the sub, and in the descriptions underneath as well, I have all of Steve's information. He is the owner, I believe, of Fanspeak Network. They have a Substack over there. It's $35 a year. You get all rankings for the whole year. You get articles. You get, like, they do prop bets. I'm pretty sure the DJ and Dad bets have been doing reasonably well this year, right?
Yeah, no, they're on a pretty hot streak.
Yeah, so that's a place to check out. Also follow them as well.
Thank you.
Just hadn't done that yet. Usually before the 3 hour point, I've done it. So and welcome, Fantasy Dog. Yeah, like, and I was like looking at the underdog pick'em stuff, as he said, the underdog, like the JT over 3 or over 2, like just the 2 touchdowns being 1.07 multiplier was like when I seen that and I knew Jeffrey Simmons was out, it's like, why would I not? Like, and I didn't. It was stupid, but
yeah,
why would I not just put him at 1? Right?
No,
like,
I know. I didn't.
I feel dumb for not just doing the thing that made sense, right? Like, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that just feels dumb for not doing the thing that made sense.
And I think late in the week, I even, like, Meg and I talked about, and I said, you know, for as bad as the Dolphins are, I would assume if one of these two games remains at least close enough, it's going to be Dolphins. Like Titans are just atrociously bad. Like their offense is just not producing points. And yet, the Dolphins, I was right. The Dolphins did produce more points, but the blowout happened in the Falcons game is just happening to the Falcons. And so that nuked Bijan. And the blowout happened here, and it didn't nuke Jonathan Taylor. He was the reason for the blowout. He just, and it's unfortunate because Daniel Jones and passing attack had a great game as well. But JT is just the engine of this offense. And I mean, what can you say? Like everyone knows he's going to get the ball, and it does not matter.
No, it really doesn't matter.
They put 9 guys in the box. Doesn't matter. I mean, that just leads to an 80-yard run. Yeah. I mean, he's insane. And it's also a huge credit to Shane Steichen and what he's calling for this offense, how comfortable Daniel Jones looks, what he's doing with the ball, distributing it. Because then when they try and take away JT, which nobody can actually do, then he just has, Pittman and Warren and Downs cooking, Pierce that big catch. Yeah, it's really fun to watch.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. And like, I don't know, like, I should have taken more Pittman. I was fully in on Downs. I do think Downs, like Pittman. So I was mostly out on Pittman because of the back thing.
Yeah.
Like whenever you're told you need surgery, and then it's like somebody else is like, no, just let it heal naturally, and then you just don't get the surgery, I'm going to be skeptical of it because I believe somebody told them they needed surgery, or I think it's like
there's some rumor about that at least.
Yeah, it was like he opted to not have surgery or whatever, or doesn't need surgery for back after saying that they probably did. And yes, that was all the way back in January, but back issues are no joke. And like that scared me, and that's why I was completely like I was not like I was like 2% Pittman. But if he was healthy, like if I thought he was actually healthy, I would have had way more because I wasn't into him last year at the 3-4 turn, but I thought it made some sense. Like it was like the Zay Flower stuff, like this year. I thought it was a bad pick, but I thought it was like by half a round to full round. Right. Like I thought that a half round later it would have made sense. Like I thought if he was over there where all the tight ends were, like the Kincaids and all them, I think it would have made some sense. But
yeah, early on I was kind of with you on the Pittman stuff, but then when he came back and Downs was out like in the preseason, then I really started taking Pittman. And also because Pittman, even though he was like back, his ADP wasn't rising again. It kind of stayed where it was after the back news happened. So I was like, okay.
I did take a little bit of him then, but not a lot. And I did actually more on DraftKings. My DraftKings advance rates are way better, by the way. Like I have some insane teams over there. Like, let me read off this one that I posted.
While you do that, and I think the other thing is, if this had been Anthony Richardson, I don't think Pittman's having this type of year.
No, he wouldn't have. Yeah, so where is it? So it was like I don't know. Like no, here it is. So running backs, Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane, Pacheco. So I guess this was not as good. I have one, like I couldn't find it, but I know I have one that is it's Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Achane, Garrett Wilson.
Oh, jeez.
And it also got Rashee Rice plus Patrick Mahomes. I don't think it's currently advancing somehow.
Well, I mean, the Rice, that is a lot of missed time in a full PPR. I mean, he can still pay off, but and then Garrett Wilson missing the last couple weeks.
I need to find that team. But this one is Bijan Achan. Oh, that's what it is. It's Bijan London. I got Bijan London with Achan. Then it's Xavier Worthy, JMO, Addison, and yeah, that's what it is. But it's got Mahomes in it as well. It's got Godwin for the late season stuff. I did get Atlanta, Penix. I wasn't able to tack on, and I got Jarquez for the bring back, but I couldn't. It was an okay team, like, but I know I have that one that's like insane, insane. I'll have to go to my Twitter and find it later and send it out again because I'm curious what it's doing. Because it was definitely a Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Devon Achan team, and then Garrett Wilson came all the way back. I think it was Garrett Wilson, then MHJ, and then Rice Mahomes, because they're the last 3 days on DraftKings. Marvin Harrison Jr. was a 5th round pick.
That's wild.
And I didn't like him a lot, but I'll take the low owned, like, unique pairing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am so ready for that as well. All right. So I think we are done with this game. Like, having any single piece of the Colts going into the last week of the season, like going into the playoff stuff, is going to feel awesome, right? Like,
oh yeah,
if you have a single Colt,
yeah,
in the finals, and actually it'll probably be the non-Jonathan Taylor Colts, because that'll give you the easiest path.
Probably going to be the Adonai Mitchell game. He comes back from the dead and as a week 17.
That would be hilarious. As long as it's not the Tyler Goodson week.
Oh god.
And not
Don't
like
it.
I've said it. It's there. That's what's happening. It has been written. All right. So we got the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game was about as fun as I expected it to be. Steelers couldn't do anything. The Packers couldn't really do anything. I guess they both could. Like, I guess it was 35-25. I didn't
realize the Steelers were outplaying them, but then the fourth quarter happened and the Packers just dominated
it. Even though the Steelers were ahead, did you ever feel like they were going to win?
Well, I knew settling for field goals. They kept settling for these field goals, and it was like they get a couple first downs, get into Boswell range, and then they just stall out. And Boswell's range is 55 yards because he's ridiculous. He like, everyone talks about Brandon Aubrey and these other kickers, which are deserving, but Boswell might be the best kicker that nobody ever talks about. Like, dude hits 50-yarders, like the Jets game. He kicked a 50-yarder to win it.
He also does it in Pittsburgh, where most kickers struggle.
Most kickers hate kicking in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I don't know how many games we've seen to where, like, a kicker will slip on the turf, on the grass in Pittsburgh on a game winner, and it's always the game winners that they're slipping on, not just the regular ones.
Well, I mean, what's his name for the Packers missed a couple kicks. Like, he had a bad game. So, but no, I mean, I thought this was a game where I feel like the Steelers definitely had a chance to win this game if they just convert a couple of those drives to touchdowns, and they just couldn't. They stalled out, and whether that's, I think some of it was play calling. Like I said, they'd get a couple first downs, and then it would be like, the one bad pass from Rodgers or a drop here, or Warren or Gainwell, who had a couple nice runs previously in the drive, would get stuffed for -2 yards and just put it behind the so yeah, it just I mean, I give the Steelers credit for playing well, but yeah, you're not gonna, against good teams, you're not gonna win the games that way. Like, you can beat the Browns that way, when you settle for a bunch of field goals and get like 1 or 2 touchdowns. But you can't beat, these good teams this way.
Yeah, McMahon is missing too after his replacement made the longest field goal in Packers history last week. It's pretty funny. That is. I mean, the Steelers losing this game though was a gigantic thing because the Bengals lost, the Steelers lost, the Browns lost, and the Ravens win.
Yeah,
the Ravens are 2-5 and very live now. Very live now. Well, I think they still have both games against Pittsburgh, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they basically choose their own destiny now.
Yeah.
Like if they win out, they win the division and get a home game. Right? Or do the Steelers have 5 wins?
Steelers have had a bye, so they're 4-3 now.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought they were 4-3. Yeah, because they had week 5 bye. Yeah. So Jaylen Warren looked good again. Kenneth Gainwell actually looked fine again as well.
Yeah.
So my takeaway from this game was kind of like a confirming a thought that I already had, and we'll see if you are as negative as I am here. And that is, of every team that I fully expect to make the playoffs, the Green Bay Packers are the least likely to be able to put together multiple wins versus a good team to win a Super Bowl. It just feels that way. I kind of mentioned something like that last week. Like they don't feel as good as they will play down to their competition, and they don't always play up. But when they play good teams, even though they can beat any team on any week, I can't see them possibly doing it 4 weeks in a row. And I just don't they're not going to have, in my opinion, they just won't have the record to have the 1 seed. So they're going to play 4 games. And if they play 4 games, I personally can't see this team winning 4 in a row in the playoffs.
So what I'll say is definitely if it's the Jacobs we've seen in the last 2 weeks, like the Jacobs from that stretch, around the Cowboys game through, the Bengals game, which those are 2 bad run defenses in that mix, but there are some other teams as well. But these last 2 weeks, he got 2 touchdowns against Arizona, but didn't generally look good. He did not look good in this game. He got a touchdown to save his best ball, my best ball shares. But I think this team lives and dies with Jacobs a lot more. It's tough to say because obviously Love was QB1 through 360, 3 touchdowns. Kraft had a big game. Watson came back, had a good game. Dobbs had some big catches. Malik Heath, I know Golden was banged up and didn't do anything. But I really think for all that this team is, both offensively and defensively, it's going to live and die with Josh Jacobs. And that's kind of how they were last year. It was and people were saying, oh, that's because Love was hurt and all that kind of stuff. But when Jacobs was on, they were on, and they were tough to beat. When you could bottle them up, like the Lions did, you could beat them.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I think. And you're not going to play that many good teams, and none of them be able to stop Josh Jacobs. And I will say, Christian Watson coming back, man, he looked really good.
I'm surprised. So surprised.
He looked really good. All I could think of this whole game was RIP my 17% Matthew Golden. It is so dead. It's not getting there.
It doesn't feel good.
And the theory was absolutely correct. I will even if this is a miss, the theory was to me too sound to be upset about it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just gonna miss things and he's been open. He was open for a touchdown in this game. Missed yet again. Jordan Love, for whatever reason, cannot throw to Matthew Golden. We've seen it. We've seen it week 1. We've seen it week 3. We've seen it week 4. We've seen it this week. for whatever reason, he cannot hit Matthew Golden on these deep throws.
Yeah, it's just manufactured touch stuff right now.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 receptions, 4 yards. That's Malachi Corley stuff right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I thought in that Cincinnati game coming off the bye a couple weeks ago, because there was some manufactured stuff, but he threw that like 28-yard pass to Golden down the seam, or down the middle of the field to essentially ice the game. And I was like, okay, we're seeing the evolution, post by rookie bump, all this kind of stuff. But
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flyfish here says LaFleur equals offensive Tomlin, play up and down competition. Yes, that's exactly what they do. And Rogers with a wrist flick, you mean pass to 30, who was like with his back to him, they were directly at the feet, like karma to lose the game. And to be honest with you, anytime I see that play, I wish bad things on the team that did it. I know that they say it's a safety thing. I don't it's not fun.
Yeah.
Like to my opinion, like the whole wrist flick, and this is, I live in an area that there's a lot of Colts fans. And I hated watching Peyton Manning play because Peyton Manning's the one that invented throwing the ball at receivers' feet. Like he's the one that it always existed somewhat, but he made it a thing he did every single time pressure game at all. And to me, it's the least fun thing. And yes, there's a receiver in the area, but it's not in the good spirits of the game. To me, that is unsportsmanlike conduct. That's not a sportsmanlike thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I have a tough time. What's the difference? We see this all the time. Honestly, all the greats do it. That's what makes them great. That's how they avoid sacks. That's how, but the point is, if there's an eligible receiver, even if they have no shot at it,
yeah,
that shows the heads up play. I mean, we saw Dylan Gabriel have an intentional grounding where he literally threw to, I don't know if he truly saw a ghost out there. There was nobody. There was no Browns player, much less eligible player.
Well, Caleb had that really bad one too.
Yeah. So it's that to me, I don't know. To me, that's a skill. We see that. I know you're a Chiefs. Mahomes does this also.
No, I'm not excusing him. He does it a lot. It frustrates me every time I just don't like it as a football fan.
I agree.
I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand why teams do it. I understand why players do it. It's because it's allowed.
Yeah.
And if it's allowed and it's within the rules, do it. I'm just saying that as a fan, I think it takes away from the game whenever these quarterbacks are allowed to just never take sacks because they could throw the ball literally anywhere on the field and just claim somebody was close.
Yeah, I mean,
basically you just send a tight end, you keep a tight end to block. If you keep a tight end or a running back in to block, you just got to chuck the ball straight down at your own feet generally. And it's an incompletion. And you save 6 yards and the good defensive play is removed.
No, I agree, but it's still an incompletion. And
I understand it's by the rules.
It's still a good defensive play,
It is, but they don't get credit for it. Really.
Yeah.
But
I get that.
Yeah, I have some wild takes. So we could get into some of those if you ever wanted to. But so DK Metcalf once again has a pretty good game. And Calvin Austin is back now. Roman Wilson kind of popped in and out, being decent with Austin out. I think having both of them back could actually make this offense more fun than I want to admit. I still don't think it's going to be a lot of fun because Aaron Rodgers is going to bleed the clock down and throw the ball at people's feet. So I'll never like it. So, but the Ravens though, this game was exactly what the Ravens needed. These last 3 weeks, exactly and the Jets beating the Bengals was to me, I think if I'm a Bengals fan, I probably don't even want to make the playoffs this year. I probably don't even want like Joe Burrow to try to come back and to ruin next season. Like that defense is very bad.
No, I
Are
agree.
are
I
they
agree.
going to be able to string together 3 wins or 4 wins like the Packers to get to a Super Bowl? Uh, maybe. Like I actually think that like with Burrow, maybe
Yeah,
it's
like
more likely, but like it's not very likely.
no, it's not. But like honestly, and look, got absolutely destroyed. But this was Washington last year. Washington's defense
Yeah.
was awful,
Yeah.
and they went out. They played the Bucks. They got that game. And then the Lions. I think that was more the Lions just were so banged up on defense that Washington just was able to take advantage. Nothing against them, but I think a healthy Lions team beats Washington last year. 8 out of
I
10
agree.
times. And then Philly just absolutely destroyed them because they were healthy. But what if the Rams had upset Philly or something like that? Then, Washington could have maybe done that last year. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. Your
Yeah.
chance is so unlikely. Same with like
I
the Cowboys. Like if the Cowboys make the playoffs or the 49ers make the playoffs, are they likely to make the Super Bowl? No. But they'll be
but
fun to watch in the playoffs.
they're still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I think those really bad defensive, great offensive teams have better chances than teams like the Packers though,
Yeah.
that are
I
just
agree.
okay at everything.
Yeah.
And like we didn't even mention it, but Tucker Craft like is an absolute animal after the catch.
Yeah.
Like and Watson is so good. Like
Well, this is what I don't get. Like, honestly, if I'm the Packers, I'm hoping Jacobs is healthy, but your offense should run through Tucker Craft. Your passing offense should run through Tucker Craft.
yeah,
Like he
yeah.
should be utilized. But there's many weeks where he'll get like 3 targets. And he might still get a touchdown, but he'll get like 3 targets.
They
Like,
honestly need to use him like Kansas City used
yep.
post Tyreek
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
Like,
Like use him like Kelsey, use him like the Cardinals used Trey McBride. Like
yeah.
there should never be a game he's not getting 7 to
And
10
and
targets.
to be honest, like if you just have a like your secondary options are Christian Watson, Matthew Golden 20 yards down the field, like that is a scary offense, but
Yeah.
they don't use it that way.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
and like Dobbs is the guy they're sending on these deep outs and stuff and like or yeah, the deep outs and it just he doesn't have the ability to like really break them open
Yeah.
like Watson or Golden does. Like he's way more reliable to get the job done, like overall. But
Mhm.
if you want explosion, like and I think that we know LaFleur doesn't care about explosion. He wants to grind down the field as slow as possible, and that's it. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to take as much time off the clock in every situation as humanly possible.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to move on?
I guess so. I know it's coming.
All right. So sorry, but we are on the Washington Commanders and the Kansas City Chiefs. This game started off and it was awful on both sides. Like both
Yeah.
sides just kept turning the ball over. Like it was not a fun game to start on for either side. Like as
Mhm.
a Commanders fan, you had to feel pretty good at halftime.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
like like and as I said, Kansas City historically doesn't cover at home. And this game was one of those that it kind of felt like we probably shouldn't have covered at home. Uh, we did, but like it definitely felt like we did everything we could to not do that. And Washington just couldn't do anything on offense,
Yeah.
like at all.
Yeah. And I think this is the issue. And I said this a little in my show earlier that, it's not just Jaden Daniels. Larry Tunsil only plays 25% of the snaps. And, he got hurt early. I think while McLaurin played, some and got the touchdown, he was not 100%. Debo still probably not 100%. And while McNichols had a decent game, I do still think the Eckler injury is something that is haunting this team. And JCM, for as fun as he is, like this is not his game. Like he's not going to succeed in a game like this. And and I think even that's the difference between him and, say, even Brian Robinson would give more. In weeks last year when like Eckler was out, or prior to that when it was Robinson, Gibson, and Gibson would be out, like Brian Robinson could like at least have the appearance of a fullback.
I had a really hard time making a pick 'em last night. Like I knew I wanted one thing, and that was Brashard Smith over on receiving yards. Well, that didn't hit. But I had a really hard time finding something that I like, knowing what KC's defense does. I had a hard time finding anything on the Commander side I liked. And like I ended up going with Zach Ertz over on yards, which didn't hit either. But Ja'Cory Cross-Camara under was like the one that kept showing up in my mind. Like I'm like, if the game script's what we think, we've already seen them not use him in a game that's out of control. And like the reason I didn't is because it was only 40 yards. It's like 42 and a half yards.
Yeah.
That's one decent run by Merritt, right? Like he's shown to be that explosive. And KC can give up some explosive runs. Like we haven't done it a lot this year, but it happens. Like, and against teams that have running quarterbacks like Mariota, that becomes more likely. So I didn't do it specifically because of that, but I did really like that as a prop. Like if I had like a bet 365 thing to where I could bet actual player props, like I would have I'd bet more, but if I didn't have to pick them everything and I could just bet the individual props, I would have definitely bet that one.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is the tough thing for Washington is last year they ran very pure health wise. Like Noah Brown / De'Ami Brown were their biggest injuries, and then Robinson missing a couple games, Eckler missing a couple games. That was about it on offense. Their offensive line was missed like one game all year up until the playoffs.
So Terry McLaurin only 47% snaps.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And Luke McCaffrey 51%. I wonder if they're easing him in.
Well, McLaurin got banked. Like he didn't play basically the fourth quarter.
Okay. So as Hulk says here, McNichols over receiving yards were free. I wish I would have thought about that because I would have taken it. I didn't get there. Like I got to the wanting the under there, and I didn't like the other options. And I figured it'd be a trailing game script. So like, but this should have been, and I don't know why I didn't think about it, but that should have been the free bet. But all I thought about this whole game while watching it is how good of a pick Austin Eckler really was.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean, he was Daniel's safety net, and McNichols was Mariota's in this game. Like last year, so many games, he was like the number two or number three option, and would have been the same in this game.
And I like he was definitely an awesome pick. Like, no questions. So over on the Kansas City side, I assume you're done.
Yeah, not much positive to say. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about McLaurin's injury long term. They said it was not too serious, but we'll see.
It's so sad. Like, he just comes back. Like,
you've never missed a game before this year,
and he's missed almost all of them this year. So Rice comes in. Like somebody was saying, it was all in garbage time, but like, I don't care. Yards are yards. And to be honest, like this rushing was very close to being a score. So like that one touchdown could have been there. We just wouldn't have had the extra 40 yards or whatever, which would have been a 15 or 16 point game versus a 22 point game or whatever.
Yeah.
But Rashee Rice is back, and our offense really didn't cook until late. Like the first half, Mahomes had 2 interceptions on the first 2 drives, I think. If not, it was definitely the first 3.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty positive it's the first 2 drives.
Yeah, you're probably right.
One of them was right off of, like, one of them was a horrible pass, and the other one was Travis Kelce's fault. Kansas City does leave the game though with still 0 players this year having 100 yards receiving, and Patrick Mahomes like being near the league leader in passing yards with no 100-yard receivers. We've had 2 99-yard receivers now.
Yeah.
It is absolutely wild stuff. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I had a lot of Eckler and a lot of Rashad White, and a lot of teams with both of them.
Yeah.
Like my Caleb Williams teams, or Caleb Johnson teams mostly had like those guys on them, which they feel very dead now. They're probably very dead. Like they're probably just dead. Like honestly. So Rashee Rice though, like 2 weeks back, once again just dominant. Like several of the scramble plays that Mahomes had, Rice is the guy who uncovered and bailed him out. Like,
Yeah, that was a touchdown. Like I don't think he was the first read on that, but
there was also one on. It was like a 3rd and 12 or something, and he got like 20-ish yards on that one as well, down on the left side. So Rice do it like it looks good for Kansas City, and it actually like I know Xavier Worthy only 553. Like you think that's what like that's pretty good. Like they're consolidating most of their targets between 3 guys now.
Yeah.
And this is what we hoped would happen, honestly. And if they continue to do that, and Noah Gray for some reason.
Well, I was going to say we hoped Kareem Hunt would get 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's like we all hoped.
Yeah, like those naked Patrick Mahomes drafters, like are absolutely living it up this year.
Yeah.
Like I still think it's going to be Rice Mahomes in the end. And the reason I was so big on Rice in the draft process is because in week 17, we get the Broncos. And yes, the Broncos have an awesome defense, but Pat Surtain does not travel to the slot. Last year, we trotted Juju out there and made him cover Juju Surtain over and over again. If it's Worthy, like it won't be Worthy. Like we saved Worthy last year to do all the stuff behind the last scrimmage. So I think that'll happen. I think Rice will be in the slot. And I think we're going to put either Juju or Hollywood out there. And like, unless Surtain wants to go to the slot to take on Rice, like that's fine. Like, and if he wants to do that, he doesn't do that very often. So he won't be at his best game. Right. Like yeah. I think he like Surtain is elite. Like, I don't think it really matters where he is, but I do think it matters for the rest of the defense where he is.
Oh, for sure.
So, that's kind of why I was very big on Rashee Rice in the offseason, is because I think that like that specific matchup against Denver, I think Rice is actually the best matchup against their team, because he will be in the slot mostly.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a very fair point.
And that's why I had so much, and I'm a Chiefs fan, so there's that as well. Yeah, Eckler. Yeah.
Oh man,
they will probably be friends by the end of the season. Yeah, like, but yeah, I felt pretty good about that. I was surprised that Rashard Smith didn't get more in the receiving game. Like, I really expected them to do that, but it kind of looks like they're going. Like, I don't know. Like,
I was just surprised the fourth quarter. Like, the game was fully in control at that point. Like, why are you not? I know it's not the situation of a week ago versus the Raiders, but like, why not give Smith some more work? That felt weird to me. Especially down the stretch when it became clear you're going to win this game.
Yeah, I don't know why they like Hunt. So, like Hunt is very good in the short yardage stuff. Like I
Yeah.
understand why he's the touchdown guy. I don't like it, but
I mean, I get
like,
it, but I also feel like Pacheco could do that as well. That was my thesis.
well, so like this goes all the way back to Cleveland. Kareem Hunt on Cleveland 2 years ago was like, I think he was rated like the third or fourth best short yardage runner in the league on the Browns that
Oh,
year.
he's always
And
been good at it. There's no
and,
question.
and last year he was one of the better ones, and then this year they said it last night before the fourth down play that he was 8 for 9 on
Yeah.
1 yard or less. Like he doesn't get stopped when it's only 1
Yeah.
yard. Like it doesn't happen, but it's happened once all season. So if we have a first and goal from the 1, like
He's your tush push. Yeah.
he's our tush push. Yeah. Like we know we have it. My question is, why are we doing that on first down? Why not do something fun before that? Like throw the ball to Kareem Hunt.
And they did that
like
to tilt me even more.
right? Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that's all I have. What do you have going on for the week?
Yeah, just real quick, I just want to say, like, we talked about like the Mahomes and the Chiefs, this team now that Rice is back. I mean, we saw it once Worthy came back, but the way Kelsey's playing, the way Rice and Worthy are back, this offense is going to be tough to beat.
And so 3 of the next 4 matchups. So we have the Bills. Let me just bring up their whole schedule because I don't know who we play week 11, but we have the Bills and we have a bye week, and then we have
Broncos, I think.
Oh yeah, it is the Broncos.
Yeah.
But the next game was the one that I remembered. Bills, Broncos, Colts.
Yeah.
Like this is for the top of the AFC right here. These 3 games are going to decide who's sitting at the top of the AFC, I think.
Yeah. Agreed.
In some order. That is wild. And then you got the Cowboys and the Texans, which should have been a good game. That's actually Dog Bowl week, by the way. That's 7:20. So like,
oh yeah,
that is the night game for the Dog Bowl week. Chargers, which will be an awesome game. that probably won't be an awesome game. Oh man, we get Rashee Rice versus the Titans in Week 16.
I mean, I think there's going to be.
It might just be a Pacheco
being the Week 16 guy. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, who knows? It could be all of them.
It could be Pacheco. It could be a Pacheco week. It might just be another Kareem Hunt week. Who knows?
I'm sure it will be. Kareem Hunt will.
It's a Kareem Hunt week. That's who you need. Week 16, guys. Hope you have all your Kareem Hunt loaded up and ready to go. But yeah, like this 3-game stretch of Kansas City, like these next 4 weeks, Bills, bye week, Broncos, Colts. This is gigantic for the entire like everything with the NFC or the AFC picture.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then we got the the Chargers game is also huge, and the other Broncos game, but we have the Texans, the Titans, and the Raiders as well. Yeah. So,
I mean, Cowboys should be a fun Thanksgiving Day game for sure.
Is that Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Oh, that is Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I hadn't even paid attention to that.
That's going to be a wild game.
That is going to be an awesome game, actually. Are there 3 games for Thanksgiving this year, or are there just 2?
No, there's 3. I think is it Packers, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys, and then I can't remember the night game.
All right,
Bengals, Ravens. Yes.
Yeah, Bengals and Ravens. This is the game that. So the Bengals Ravens play twice in 3 weeks. because they are also the week 15 game, and this is week 13.
Yeah.
So because the Bengals Ravens, the one reason I got into Derrick Henry late is because of the Bengals matchup in week 15. I was like, and why I ended up with 9% Zay Flowers is because either Zay Flowers, Lamar, or Derrick Henry is going to be a very, very useful piece to advance out of week 15.
Flacco revenge game, Thanksgiving night. I'm here for it.
Flacco revenge game, Thanksgiving night. Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, Chase might have 30 targets that game.
He's had what 42 in 2 weeks, something like that.
I think he's had like 52 since in the 3 games with Flacco.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, go ahead and promote.
So tonight we got our guys Fred and Tyler during their show. I believe at 7. I should double check the schedule. Tomorrow night, the DJ and Dad's show. Usually do a lot of battle royales. On Wednesday night, Meg and I DJ and Power Hour before the Thursday night game on Thursday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. Then 4 or 5 o'clock on Friday, we'll go on with Tyler for our prop party for the Sunday games. And then that night, DJ and Dads will do their props typically that night, Friday night.
Yeah. Speaking of that, they are currently live.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes they need to start early to do their schedules. So,
all right. So I'll be on tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central, and I don't know what I'll do yet. I'm probably just going to kind of look through some things. I might do a draft or two, probably a portfolio review. It's not super pretty, but like I'm at like 15.5 with an expected 19 or something. Like I dropped a full % this past week, even with all the rice. So I do have a ton of teams like close kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm just bouncing. I think I'm fine, but I'm kind of where I expected to be at this point. And all these injuries are going in the worst possible way it possibly can for me. So
I'm right there with you. I mean, back-to-back weeks losing Evans and Scadaboo is not good.
Well, I mean, I've also got Eckler way up there as long as you do. But I have I had 12 or 13 or like 13.5% James Conner because of the matchup, and that looks like it was the right call.
Oh my God.
So like we're all good though. I do have some pretty strong teams left. Some Hampton. I have a bunch of Hampton too.
That's another big one.
And I just posted the link to Fanspeak there.
Appreciate it.
I'll see everybody eventually. I'll be on tomorrow. And then also tomorrow night at usually 9:30 p.m. I go live with Candyman and Hartman. Not sure what channel yet, but I will definitely post that on my X whenever that happens or whenever we figure it out. Take care, everybody. Peace.